Hello and welcome to Roll for It, your favorite YouTubers and streamers get together to play some lovely tabletop RPGs. I've got everyone in the wrong slots, but that's fine. Hi, welcome. So, while I shift everyone around, few announcements today. We have no supporter. Monster Hearts show is coming next week. The Monster Hearts show starting on Sunday at the normal time. Yes, times are still a little bit shifted from daylight savings. We'll let you know when that changes, which should be in a couple of weeks' time, so bear that in mind. Also, the Monster Hearts character summary video, where we do like character creation, is live now. So those of you at the party tier and above can go check that out on the Patreon. If you want to go see some character creation, you can do so. And there is a monthly recap video coming up, I believe, next week, because we had to delay it because I was ill. So that will be coming up next week as well, so look out for that. That said, I think that's all the announcements done. So, hi, welcome to Roll For It. You can support us at patreon.com/roll for it. Allows us to do stuff like pay our lovely cast and do in-live meetups that I'm glad are in November and not at the beginning of the year. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, genuinely, we'd be screwed. So that's a thing. Also allows us to deliver all these amazing content and stuff and whatever, and get people who are amazing on the show. You can also support us over at Twitch, twitch.tv/roll for it. There's subs and stuff that you can do there with bits and tips, and they obviously go into the pot down there. And YouTube membership as well. We've got like 2 YouTube members. You could be one of those. Thank you for demonstrating that, Jumia. Oh. And those all, if you are a sub, if you are a YouTube member, or if you are a Patreon member, allow you access to our Discord, which you should do because it's a really cool community. If you also want to, you can just tell people about the show, like spread the word, go on like the Reddits, or whenever World of Darkness are like, hey, what do you watch? And you'd be like, we watch Silence of Shadows. You could do that. That said, I think that's pretty much everything.
I'm still waiting for Roll For It to roll the dice I told it to roll.
Yeah. Announcement. It rolled. Yay.
There we go.
A 10. Ooh, a 10.
That just means it's cute.
And you have to roll again to see if it's a disgracia or something, I think, right?
Not according to this table.
Oh, I thought it said like, I thought it was like, if you get this, then roll again.
It just says 9 and 0 are cute.
Oh, okay.
6 to 8 are fleeting. 1 to 5 is well balanced.
Roll20 is having some issues right now. It is just about loading, but rolls are occasionally weirdly delayed, and we just about managed to log in about half an hour ago. We couldn't log in at all. So there might be some issues with Roll20. If there are issues, we're going to play it by ear. So there might be technical fixes on the fly, which might involve actual physical dice if need be. That said, there we go. Actual physical dice. Also, Mangled Pork with the 27 months. That's like 3 sub babies. Bentham, thank you very much. Right. That said, hi, welcome to World of Darkness. This is a dark world of darkness. There'll be lots of problematic things happening because, hey, vampires are problematic by their very nature, especially if you play them true to style. So please bear that in mind. That means that we're going to be playing characters who do sometimes do bad things. If that is the case, feel free to hate the character. You don't necessarily need to hate the players. Vampires by their nature are bad. They do bad things. But also, if things happen in the game that are somewhat triggering for you, feel free to like take some time away, go make a cup of tea, pause the stream for a bit, or skip an episode if you need to. You don't need to harm yourself on our account, because World of Darkness is filled with a load of problematic stuff, because it is a dark world of darkness. That said, Mathis, take it away.
Well, we left off at a rather kind of conclusive point last time. Finally, some lingering questions and lingering threats, we'll call them, have been tied up and put up a little bow on and packaged and sent away forever, ideally, leaving the 4 of you with time to breathe. You were able to ask Bella for certain permissions, as well as acknowledgement for Crowley and within Chicago.
She really liked me.
But now the 4 of you sit, we'll say about a week later, after the meeting, where you've all been able to just settle and relax for a few nights and not make too many big moves. But it leaves the 4 of you with choices to make. Out of curiosity, I'm assuming there is going to be a night where the 4 of you have to regather. But after the prince and all of that went around, did the 4 of you end up sticking together rather every night, or did you all end up going your separate ways with things to take care of? Essentially, I'm asking, is there anything that's for if you want to get to take care of, or do you want to lay low for a few nights before you get together again?
I had some things that I wanted to take care of, though I am actually okay with laying low for a few nights.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's things that I kind of want to do at the coterie anyway, so I think it's fine.
Dakota had 2 things she wanted to do.
Mhm.
One included reaching out to her cop contact.
Mhm.
And
You all,
the other,
there's a few, you all wanted to reach out. For the most part, all of you
to somebody.
reach out for somebody here.
But I would have visited Ava at some point over the
Sure.
time down.
Where would you find Ava the most commonly right now?
Well, I would try to have caught her before she left the septic tank.
Oh, then you
Yeah.
can easily catch her there.
That may be where you find me a few
And
nights anyway.
I
so-
show up with a bucket, 2 sponges, and a mop. And cleaning supplies, I guess, to some degree. And I help Ava scrub that fucking thing down and get rid of as much as she wants off those walls.
Yep, it's time for some spring cleaning of the septic tank. We're gonna clear it out.
Cleaning up the
That's fine.
This is gonna take more than a spring cleaning. This is gonna be a deep cleaning.
I angry scrub those walls.
I start taking like a lot of Zach's things and just it's time.
I'm sure it's incredibly cathartic for you to both try to push forward and put the past behind you, while also cleaning what is one of the only last remaining physical pieces of your brother left here in Chicago. And we can see over the course of hours as Dakota and Ava scrub the walls of the small septic tank, likely silently for a good long while, which is different for Ava. But this isn't a time for chat and positive memories. It's a time of reflection and moving forward. And so the 2 ladies focus, clean. And by the course of one night, it took the entirety of the night, but over the course of it, when you finally step away while the walls are still wet and there are still stains that sop down parts of this particular septic tank, you can look around and say, I'll still take a -2 with my disciplines while I'm in here, but it's cleaner than it was.
Well, it's something at least.
It's just the thought of it being a place where human waste once went.
Yeah. You know, Dakota, I was thinking of doing something with this place. I don't really know. Curtains.
Right, that's what people that have place have.
Yes, usually some nice curtains help really bring a place to life, but I think it's going to need a little more than that. This place, I don't know. It's not exactly
It's a septic tank.
Yes.
Well, hopefully you won't have to be here very long.
Hopefully.
New territory, New Haven.
Yes. But for now, we can always use this for something if we need a place for storage. It's clean now and empty. So
Well, it's not empty. It's got you in it.
Yeah. This is I guess this is my place now. My one place I can call my own.
Not for long.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Not you, Bella. Not you. What'd you say in the letter to Bella?
Well, clearly it wasn't anything bad, as I'm not
worried about it
beheaded
being
right now.
bad.
Honestly, it wasn't anything too dramatic. It was pretty straightforward in saying that we did our best to clean up the mess that was left. and that if something that this is something to be expected of us. If there ever is a mess, it's our responsibility to clean it up.
Dakota drops the sponge on the floor. Well, that seems like one big fucking giant metaphor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of is.
Well, I'm going back to the boat. You know where to find me.
Enjoy your home. As I say that.
At least it's clean.
Yeah.
At least it's clean.
And you spent the night cleaning. And while it may not have been, while Ava may not plan to live there forever, there's still an appreciation for cleaning up the past in a way this particular evening. And the two of you, like I said, spend the night doing that. Oh my, are you okay? Sorry, kitty problem.
Today is the day of kitty problems, folks.
Mike has been so noisy all morning. She keeps coming in here and like,
My honor.
Yeah.
My apologies. Moving forward. Grant is missing for a few days, Ollie. When you get back to the bar after all's said and done and you deal with the prince, unsurprisingly, like as you said, you nodded your head almost expectantly, Grant is missing. And Grant actually stays missing for the rest of the week. It's not a full week, but it's the rest of it. And it's about 4 more days worth. You're about middle of it at this point. And he just takes some time. When he returns, he doesn't say anything. He doesn't talk about the job. And I'm not sure if Ollie would ever even attempt to bring it up in the first place, but he certainly does not. Would Ollie ever bring it up?
I don't think so. I feel like Ollie's just gonna kind of monitor him to see how he's doing, see how he responds to people.
Feel free to make me please an insight check. Wits insight. Maya. Hang on, I'm gonna stand up for a second.
Yeah. Ugh. Well, I think I'll use I'm gonna will this.
will it? Reroll the die.
So 2 successes.
Nice.
I got 2 successes. I had to use a willpower.
Okay. With 2 successes, you know Grant really, really well. While he's certainly putting on a hell of a front, and most people who would just see him would not even second guess that this is the Grant that they see every night, so jovial and serving drinks and cracking jokes and hitting on ladies as they walk through. But for you as you watch, it's almost too much of an act. It's too practiced. It's too much of a show. Whatever he's doing, it's just a cover for how he truly feels. Just something you pick up. You watch his mannerisms. You know him well. On this night as well, most of the coterie is here. I'd actually would open the door to most of the coterie being here if that's something the coterie thinks they would be here for. Spending time at the bar, basically, if there's not much else that they need to do. So whoever wants to be there is welcome to. Because as you're walking around and you make your way into the back, and there's Jim back there. He's cooking up a couple burgers. He's only here a couple times a month usually. Doesn't really
Jim
make
the
much
Burger
conversation.
Man.
Yeah, Jim the Burger Man shows up a couple times. Usually makes some money and then only comes back when he needs a job.
Yeah.
But on the back door there is a very gentle.
I'll check it out. I'll see what's happening.
As Ollie makes his way back there and you peel the door open a little bit, the chain lock still holding the door mostly shut, and you're able to peek out through the crack of the door into the night alley. You actually see a familiar face. Baby forgot that she was supposed to make her way here, but Grant made the call a few weeks ago. She smiles, a middle-aged woman, her hair tied up in a small little bun. She wears very plain clothing, and over her shoulder she has a large brown rucksack that she hangs over by her side. She smiles exceptionally warmly when she sees what little of you peers through that door.
I recognize her how?
She's a mask maker,
Okay.
a woman that, while you have not seen often, the few times that you have, she has been nothing but caring and warm the entire time.
I will unchain the door and invite her in.
The door swings open, and this woman, she's no more now that the door's open. You can see her. It's such a contrast. Ollie standing next to her. She shuffles her way in. You shut the door behind her, and she sits at a short 5'3" tall. She is nothing more than just a short little old lady. And Ollie standing next to her is like the giant standing next to the dwarf. It is a monstrous contrast, and the two of them walk into the back kitchen together. She smiles at you, but she doesn't say anything. She gently places the bag up onto the nearby prep table. Whoever's back here, I would say if Dakota's here or Ava's here or Crowley's here, usually you all hang out in the back, and this woman makes her way back. And after she places her bag down, she turns to face Ollie, ignoring anyone else who's in here. And she simply smiles, saying, "It is so good to see you again."
Miss Anna, it's
Mr. Hopkins. And she
It's-
places she reaches forward and she grabs your hand, and she places her hand between both of hers, and she just kind of clamps down on it very firmly.
it's been some time.
It has. And she looks up to your face and she says, "I can see why you needed my attention."
Yes, long story short, I had to part ways with the previous mask.
You know my rule. Mask off. If I'm going to deal with you, I'm going to deal with the real you. Besides, I haven't seen your face in a long, long time, and if I'm going to make another one, then she just smiles.
Okay. Jim, could you give us like 20?
Whatever. And he just wanders off. He grabs a burger that he was prepping on a plate. He was about to put tomatoes on it, and as you stop him, he actually hucks the tomatoes off to the side, grabs the burger with his hand, takes a bite, and walks his way out the back door.
And I'll ask the Grant not let anybody back for
Without question. Without question, he agrees.
If you need Ollie, we can give you guys time alone as well. We can
Oh, I
leave.
figured I was just in back with Anna.
Oh, okay.
Okay, perfect. So we're just in the front of the
So
bar.
we're
And
not.
you're in the front. That's fine too.
Yeah.
You guys probably would see Ollie pop out and request that nobody come to the back until I'm seen again.
So you make your way to the back room. And you make sure you basically cover all their bases to make sure nobody walks in.
Mhm.
And she very patiently is standing there with her fingers and her hands crossed. And she just watches you go about your business. And there's almost when you finish up and you walk back over to her, there's almost like a twinkle of pride in her eye.
Once I'm finished, I'll grab like a milk crate and I'll sit down. Seeing as she's not so tall, I'll make sure that I'm low enough that she can reach my face below her.
And so you sit down in the crate, and the crate creaks a little bit under the weight of Ollie as she reaches over and pops your hoodie off. And she reaches behind your face, and she actually undoes the mask herself, and she very gently just pulls it off, and she places it gently on the table next to her. And she turns back to you just to look at you. And she gets really, really close. She runs her finger along the sides of your jaws, doesn't touch, just within a few centimeters of it. And she gets very close to your face, getting a good long look. She actually pulls glasses out of her pocket at one point and places them on. Before she takes a deep breath and steps back, she's like, yeah, this'll be easy. It'll take me a few days, though. I only just got into the city. I had gotten Grant's call a few weeks ago, and I made it a priority to head out this way. What happened?
There was a woman, Kindred. Goes with a witch of the yards.
She just shakes her head. Never heard of her.
I had to make a trade. She wanted something of value. And between myself and my Lakota members, this was the only thing that mattered on my person. She didn't want cash or anything like that. But when she went to touch the mask, I flinched. I knew I shouldn't have. And she knew right then that's what she would want. And it was the only way that we were going to find. I'm sure you heard that there was a blood hunt in the city. That was the lead that took us to our target. And we succeeded in the blood hunt. But it cost me my mask.
All the while you're explaining this, she reaches into her bag and she pulls out a sketchbook and she takes out a pencil and she very slowly begins to sketch what is the general shape of Ollie's head. Meanwhile, she sketches different, just very basic masks along them. The style that you had before, one that looks more clean shaven, and a few other variations in between. But she listens very intently the whole time. And when you finally finish speaking, she looks up. You know, that's why I was so drawn to you the first time. She leans forward and kind of pokes your chest a couple times. All that gruff toughness out front, but deep down, you're a teddy bear.
Yeah, sometimes a little hard to see that, but it's even harder when you can't get past the face.
Yeah, well, be around as long as I have, and you've seen way worse afflictions of your clan, I promise.
It's almost hard to believe.
Well, you're still young.
Mm.
So, and she spins it back around, and like kind of cutting the conversation short there, and places these sketches in front of you. We can do what we did last time. I can bring you to as close as your mortal self as you'd look, or we could try something a little different. How are you feeling?
I think it's fine. I think it should be okay. Maybe bring the color a little closer to the skin. I've had someone coming in to help duty up my face so it doesn't look so rough. It looks a bit more blended, but yeah, if it could get a little closer, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that's what you said last time. And she shakes her head and pulls the book back. But I promise, there's I guess you could call it a privacy in keeping it discolored. People aren't going to ask questions when it's obviously already something that's afflicting you. Or if they catch it later, they might ask questions.
You are the professional.
But it's your face. Just my humble opinion. Everybody has their own preferences. I'll try to make it more pale if that's what you prefer.
I respect your opinion, and I think we'll go with your design.
She pockets the sketchbook back into her bag before she settles back into the chair. Well, that's business then. I just have to take care of it, and like I said, it'll take a few days. So, how about some food and some ketchup?
I can do that. I can do that. What would you like?
She smiles. Just a club sandwich, please.
Easy. White or wheat?
Wheat, always. Toasted, too, if you could.
I definitely can. Hey, while I'm doing this, there's some folks I'd like you to meet. I think there's someone that could maybe use your help.
Are these the friends from before I had met you?
They're my coterie. Yeah.
I'm excited to meet them. Especially the Zach fellow.
Well, Zach, Zach's not with us anymore.
Wow. She puts her hand. Say no more. My apologies for your loss. I'm eager to meet the rest.
I'll step out and I'll call to him, wave him in. Hey guys, come on, come back here.
And as the three of you make your way into the back, you see, as I described, this short, kind of plain-looking, middle-aged woman. She sits there and she smiles very sweetly as each one of you make your way back into the kitchen. Next to her is just a bag, and she's just sitting there as you all file in.
Proudly, Dakota, Ava. This is Miss Anna Coleman, lad.
She smiles. Pleasure to meet the three of you.
What was her name? Sorry, I missed her first name.
Anna
Okay.
Anna Coleman, lad.
Anna Coleman Lad.
Nice to meet you, Anna.
Hi.
Good to meet the three of you as well.
Anna is a professional. She will be remaking my mask.
Oh.
And, well, she's very talented. She's had, I looked to her, quite a long time to perfect her trade, if what I recall is true. She has been making masks for men since World War II.
Near on a century now, yeah.
I called
Quite
you back here
impressive.
because Ava, you said that you might need some help.
Yes. I've heard much about you from Ollie, and I see you are quite talented. I am in need of some help as well, and perhaps you might be able to be the one to help.
A friend of Ollie's then is a friend of mine, as the saying goes. Whatever I can do, I will endeavor to be of use while I'm within Chicago.
Well, I am in need of a fresh start, of completely wiping my slate clean.
Oh, of course
I-
you are. And she actually kind of cuts you off.
Yes, my brother, you may have heard, yeah. And just, I think that there's some things, not just him, but some things in my past. I just need to move on and need to let go. So this is more than just starting fresh physically, but also mentally, I think.
Are you simply looking to, like you said, wipe your slate clean? Is it as simple as that? Do you have any outstanding long-term connections of people who would be coming to look for you otherwise?
Well, now that you mention it, there may be a few things. And I pull out from my purse to show to everybody a missing persons poster with my face on it. And I show everybody. This is recent that I came across this.
Wait. When were you embraced?
Over 10
Like-
years ago.
Yeah.
Dedication?
There are some people from my past that, well, I guess in some ways I haven't fully let go of, but I guess they too haven't fully let go and are still hoping that I might still be out there. I don't know. It kind of threw me for a loop also.
Well, my help comes in a very specific fashion. I don't really... It's not within my capabilities nor my influence to fake your death certificates and whatnot to give you a proper funeral. However, I do have contacts and it would take some time. But with a little bit of time, I could just attempt to do what I did for Mr. Oliver Hopkins here. Wipe you
That
from
would
the
be-
systems completely.
That would be great. I would really appreciate that. I think that's what I need to do.
She just, she smiles. I'll help. If only, though, for a very small price.
Of course.
A drink.
A drink? Really?
A drink.
What kind are we talking here?
She laughs. You really gonna make me say it?
Okay. Is this the price that Ollie had to?
Oliver Hopkins and I have worked out a deal many, many, many years ago.
I can vouch for his skill.
I do not belong to any kindred. If you believe this is going to make me belong to you, then you are worrying far too much. I won't be drinking that often.
I kind of read the room a little bit. I look at Dakota, see how she's reacting to this, because I know this is a sensitive.
It's your drink.
Well, I think that's a fair price. I'm willing to do so.
She nods and she doesn't like go walk over to you for a drink or anything like that. She doesn't even move from her seat. When I return and the job is done, that's when I expect payment.
Of course.
Could I find you here then?
Yes. I'm
If
always
not-
here.
If she's like, and if not, and I come here, Ollie, I'll have to use you as the middle, the go-between. I don't need to know where she lives, and I don't need to know how to find her. Information that is not required.
I understand. We'll work something out.
Was there anything else that I could help with? I wasn't aware that I'd be here to serve a community. When she says that, there's no vitriol in her words. There's no
Okay.
vileness in her words.
Okay, it's genuine.
Mathis has just got tired voice still, so
It's
everything he
just-
says
so
sounds like
Mathis sounds that
little-
way,
a
but
little-
she doesn't.
a little like salty. No, she is. This whole while when you're speaking to her, she is incredibly pleasant. She is like your stereotypical pleasant grandma-esque personality. What were you saying, Ollie?
Yeah, just that she's incredibly sweet.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well,
Nothing
then,
else. Yeah, it's very nice to meet you.
she stands up and she walks over to Ollie first. She places each hand on the sides of your arms and then just pulls you in for a hug, and she just gives you a very tight hug. It wasn't I wasn't able to sit here long. It was an absolute pleasure seeing you again.
Likewise, I wish we could do this more often.
I don't, but I wish I could see you more often.
You know where to find me.
Well, unfortunately, Chicago isn't my home, big guy. And she kind of pulls back from the hug and pats you. She looks at the other three, grabs her bag, and just gives you all a pleasant wave.
Is that your normal price?
She smiles. Depends on what you ask. I'm not a miracle worker.
I'll bear that in mind. Thank you.
She smiles, and again, like I said, she gives you another goodbye wave, and she makes her way out the back door. Gone for the rest of the evening.
You don't really have too many sweet ones like that. You usually out for way more. But I understand. If she doesn't drink, well, he's rather old, as you could imagine.
Hmm. Yes. Well, I don't have much to offer right now, so that is one thing I at least know I can give. So, thank you, Ollie. That would be very helpful.
The way I liken it, she's wiping out your old life for a chance to maintain life. It's not so hard of a trade, and her reputation precedes her. She's an honest old sweet bag. I'd have her around more, but, well, she stays out in Massachusetts. She does a thing out there.
Wow.
And she has been serving the Nosferatu community for a very, very long time. That's how I found her.
For Ava, for zeroed out, it's
Mhm.
3 dots of mask, 2 for the
Okay.
dot for mask, 1 for a zeroed specialty. It's a 9 experience total.
Okay, I think I will go for that. then.
Okay. I imagine that's what you were looking for, was getting zeroed.
Yeah.
So feel free to spend the 9 experience, write down zeroed. We'll soon, like, you have that. While it does technically not in effect for a few nights here in game, just make sure
Sure.
you take the 9 XP away and you give yourself zeroed out.
Cool.
That's I mean, as far as that's concerned too, maybe something even Dakota thinks of, as I see a million questions in chat about it, is she allowed in Chicago? She did just enter a lockdown city. You just dealt with Crowley, who is that. But just so Bub walks in with information, the answer is yes, she is. And that's all you know.
She is
So if it
allowed
comes up.
here.
As far as Ollie understands, yes, she is
Law
allowed in
Sharon is the
Chicago.
kindred, right? I never heard
Yes,
anything
but
about
but remember, ghouls are kindred property, and so ghouls being
Okay.
attached to a kindred, it's property. Therefore, its mistakes are your mistakes. again, and each prince is going to be different, but
And I
if there's
never-
an unbound ghoul, which people are assuming she is, that's even more dangerous, and they should be killed because that's a huge masquerade breach.
But she seems to actively be serving the Nuss community.
Well, that's what Bub said.
yeah,
Okay.
that's-
She
She's
showed
a
up,
freelance
she-
businesswoman who specializes in purveying to the NOS community.
I was introduced to her through Snitch, and he
Mhm.
basically told me that she's been working with the NOS community for a long time.
And I'm not worried about it.
Then no concern.
I mean, it's my
Yeah, but she
knowledge
operates out of
now, but
Massachusetts.
I'm not. Yeah.
And if it wasn't obvious as well from Ava, she's a ghoul, clearly. So leave
I
that.
genuinely thought you were going to introduce me to another Primogen.
You've only met one.
Yeah, the last time they brought me to someone in the back of the bar, it was a Primogen.
That's fair. It was Camille.
No, they're not all that way. Admittedly, I don't know them all personally, but
Jesus Christ.
Snitch is the Primogen. He's the Primogen for the NOS, and he is hard as hell to get hold of. But he takes care of me. I take care of him. The NOS are a pretty tight bunch. I don't know what it's like in all of the other clans, at least immediately, but
What are the Gangrel and Toreador Primogens like?
Mm.
Toreador Primogen, because it's a Toreador prince.
What about
Sienna was removed and made her right hand.
oh right.
and I don't know the Gangrel Primogen.
Her name's Rosa. She has an attitude problem,
So she's a Gangrel.
but she's kind of nice. Yeah, she's a gangrel. I don't know that the title of Primogen really changes that.
Fair enough.
We had a beer. It was fine and awkward.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
There are a pair of Malkavian, and I think they were the brother and sister, right?
Yeah, they're a lovely bunch.
Yeah.
They're both the Primogen for the Malkavians.
Are there any other duo clans?
Any more duos?
Nope. No more duos.
Any more
The only duo
siblings to...
Primogen.
There's a Tremere. She's a interesting one
Step
also.
down.
I think you're muted, first of all, Crowley. I saw your mouth move, but I didn't hear anything.
She
Yeah,
stepped
same.
down.
Yeah, I was say
Oh,
Persephone
Okay,
doesn't
all
isn't
the
on the
people I
on the
know are no longer Primogen. So
We don't have... There's no Sombra that we know of. There's
no La Sombra. There's no
Sombra.
La Sombra Primogen. There's the Gangrel Primogen. Let me get my list. Hang on.
I
thought
have
she
one
was
too, but
still
it's deep in my...
Primogen.
The only one that I'm struggling with is the Bruja.
Is the Bruja... Oh, but we know there is a Bruja.
Yeah.
I just don't know anything about them.
I don't
Right.
think. Yeah, we really.
We know that the sheriff is a Bruja.
Yes, the
that's-
sheriff, you know, is a
Yes.
Bruja. Where there was confusion over that initially because people thought, and I probably said it in season 1 that it was a
Yep.
Gangrel.
Gangrel, yeah.
Gangrel.
Yeah, exactly. Is there a reason we need the list? By the way, is somebody?
No,
looking to
we're
meet with
just
here?
we're just
Getting
getting
the
the
list.
list out and filling Crowley
sure,
in on
sure,
the
sure.
sitch.
I'll give you the re update too that I gave you at the beginning of the season as well as to who stepped down and for why or for what reason.
Oh yeah, that was okay. That's right. That's in that opening monologue.
Yep.
Yep.
And then, but yeah, as far as anything else, yeah, there's not much.
Right.
Mhm.
Just
So-
wondering.
We don't really have any friends except for Camille.
Yeah.
Friend is a strong term.
There isn't Hakata or Banu Hakim on the Primogen Council, right?
No.
Not
No.
to my knowledge.
Right, that's the only two I know. Okay.
You're the first that I think we've ever really interacted with of that.
We do know that, Vanessa still kind of has some pull. She's semi-close with the prince, and while we don't
I've never met
technically know,
Vanessa,
you don't really want to meet her.
so I've heard.
She's a scary broad.
Yeah, people who mess with ghosts and stuff, they're bad news. You should stay away from them.
I have no plan to go anywhere near Vanessa.
The only thing that I can say about her is she has a stunning comic book collection.
That seems like an odd detail.
That's the only area that I would say was a lady after my own heart. But after that, oof.
That is one of my regrets. I was just getting into that when it died.
Do you remember, like, I would say 10 years ago when we went to that spaghetti joint in Chicago?
Oh, yeah.
This spot
Yes.
place, right? We
Yes.
we got word that her ghoul was coming out of that place. So, and that
Wasn't
was
that
the,
this? That was a spot hideout, wasn't it?
yeah. At least that's what we were told. But when we went in, the only thing that I saw was a couple of goons and a woman chained to a, I don't even know what the hell it was called. An old heating doodad.
Oh, a furnace.
Yeah, ish. I tried to free her. I tried to get her out, but well, that didn't go too well.
What do you mean it didn't go too well?
I did what I could, but I couldn't be seen.
Ah,
She was
right.
mostly drugged up, and I broke her shackles. But when they found her, they barged in the room. They held a bunch of guns, and I was, I did my poof. I was gone.
Okay. That just makes me trust Vanessa even less. So I think we need to just set like a
Can you trust
hard-
Vanessa any less than you already don't trust her?
Yeah, people shouldn't step in
No.
the door.
No,
Just
exactly.
Stay away from her.
So, and just so you know, our cast chat, I put the current list of Prince and Primogen.
You
you.
are a saint.
Amazing.
Actually, no, you're a magic card, which we
That's
learned the
true.
other day.
I did. I am Mathis the something, a vampire.
You are Mathis the Theme Seeker, a
Bingo.
red, white, black, legendary creature vampire with menace. And at the beginning of your end step, put the bounty token on a creature on an opponent controls. For as long as that creature's bounty token on it, whenever the creature dies, each opponent draws a card and gains 2 life. That is a magic card called
Perfect.
Mathis.
It works.
Yeah.
I
I like-
existed before that damn magic card, that's for sure.
My favorite part of that card was the flavor text.
Oh,
You gotta
no,
read-
of your
Yeah, the flavor-
crimes.
Yeah.
All will know your crimes.
It's true. You can't get away from the Camarilla. I am a cami bitch, deep down.
About it. It's okay. I like it, Mathis.
One of the reasons why I like you.
I'm a cami bitch.
Because
Well,
I
now
am
that-
too. It's okay.
Now that
Remember,
you-
so for those who were, just to answer a question, the one that we were like, oh yeah, who is that? The Brewha Primogen member. His name's Cretius.
Gracious.
He comes from this book,
Mm,
Chicago by Night. He
Ah.
is part of Chicago by Night. He is old. He is incredibly intelligent, and that's all you know.
Interesting.
Neat. Huh.
Okay.
Right.
By the way, this book is
All
great.
right.
This is
Yeah.
so nice.
It is.
It's
I
so
need to
nice
get
to
my
have this
physical
instead of the
copy.
PDF.
Damn it.
I need it as well.
I just bought it off Amazon for $60. I was like, fuck it, give it to me.
I want it.
I'm gonna do that with LA by Night too. I really, not LA by Night. London Falling.
Mhm.
I haven't
That
heard
just
as
came out,
good
too.
things about London Falling as I have about Chicago.
Yeah, but I have a ton of such bad New World of Darkness books, but I just like to have them.
Yeah.
They're so
Fair.
useless. Like the Coteries book from New World of Darkness was so useless. Okay, sorry, distraction. But there's your list. Maybe somebody should pin that so we don't lose it as easy. So we can always
I
have
will
it as
pin it
quick
now.
reference. Actually, you know what? Let me just put this in the actual game. I'll make a little note.
Oh, okay. In which case, I won't pin it.
Even better.
Perfect.
Okay, so that sorry, I kind of interrupted the conversation that you were having, and my my voice is like disappearing.
No, I think that was
That
long and
was it?
short, Crowley, is you should not see Primogen walking up in Ollie's bar. So
Well, there have been a fair few amount of them.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. You seem to have a really love-hate relationship with them.
Yeah, they love to hate me, but they can't get rid of me.
the Primogen.
Well, I'm expecting some visits soon from a few Ventru.
Oh,
Oh, right, you're expanding the joint.
Yeah. I use the old bird call. Called out a pigeon, and apparently
Yes.
I flew a little too hard. It shattered after my initial draw. But I passed a letter off. We should be seeing Camille, or at least getting a letter from her. And I've got word out to Jackson. Hopefully, I also hear from Mr. Ballard as well.
That's half. That's half of the venture council. That's half of the venture board out here. The board is 5 members, so a little over half.
I've done a fair amount of work for them, and I've garnered some favor. So, to lay out all my plans, I'm trying to expand. When I got permission from the prince, I'm going to be going through the legal means of acquiring the few buildings surrounding the Lights Out pub.
Right. So you know what I said about the whole really tight with the Primogens thing? Yeah, that's like the whole Ventrue Council.
Well, they come knocking, and while I might have a reputation as a loud one, I also have a reputation of finishing the job.
I do need to ask, where does the name come from? People have referred to us as the loud ones a few times.
Well, we were successful in pretty much all of our endeavors. But the last one went with a big bang. An orphanage was blown up.
Right, okay, I heard about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Just in general, when we were new licks, we tended to spill out a lot and didn't really know when to keep our mouths shut.
Yeah, so we had a problem keeping our shit on the down low.
Yes, we shared a little too much information, which is why you can see now we're very hesitant to share information. We're
I
kind of
have
scarred
noticed
from that.
There's only so many times you can get your hand smacked.
Or branded on your back.
It took some time, but we learned.
Right.
Does that answer all your questions, Crowley?
Welcome to Chicago. Officially.
Yeah, sounds like a lovely place.
Probably better than New York, at least.
Hey, by the by,
That's true.
Crowley, did you ever get a look at Brighton Park? You said you were gonna hit
Well,
that place.
we've only been like a really small time skip so far. I was planning to go
Yeah, it's
down
true.
anytime we had a proper time skip. We go
Right.
now if you want.
So, hey,
Actually,
I
this-
know
yeah,
we're all
go ahead,
excited
please.
about the Baron, but doesn't Ollie have a deal to uphold?
Yeah.
In like what, a week's time?
2, wasn't it?
I think we did like a 2-day skip, so we've got something like
You have a week and a half, basically.
11 days.
So we have to start a gangrel war in not a gangrel war, a gang war in 2 days' time,
A ganger will be a
or,
lot
or
louder.
in a week and a half time.
Yeah, we need to get Red Bull out of Chinatown.
You got any criminal contacts you could like organize some huge drug deal?
I only found out about him because of my criminal contacts, and I only found out about Malik and everything about Malik, especially his setup, because of the criminal contacts. I'm officially owing them. They're not going to do me any favors without way increasing what I owe.
Okay, I have a possible lead. Well, at least somebody I could talk to.
That's a start. Let's hear it.
Well, he's a crooked cop.
Well, I mean, aren't they all?
Trust me, this one's fucking crooked and an asshole. But he works for cheap and keeps me out of trouble if I need some cover.
Wait, so we can actually keep you out of
10
trouble?
like 10 extra minutes when we go breaking into a building in Chinatown.
What's his rate?
Well, he seems to have upped it the last time. He wants me to help him look into a missing security guard on the docks.
Wait, isn't that where you got your boat?
Yes, Carly. It's where I park my boat.
I mean, do you know where he's at?
The cop?
No, the security guard.
No, the security guard. Is he actually missing?
Oh, he did. at the bottom of Lake Michigan.
Or can you just tell the cop that?
Well, because who put him there, Crowley?
Oh. I just didn't think you know, kill.
It wasn't supposed to be that way. I was hungry and pissed, and I'd taken a ripe beating from the sheriff of our lovely city.
Wait, 1 second. Out of character, have I been told that the sheriff beat you up yet? I know you've mentioned the sheriff. I don't think you said that the sheriff beat you up.
I think it's as you said, like you've probably heard it in passing as she's brought it up a couple times in conversation. I think that the sheriff has pissed her off. I don't think it's been explicitly said that she got beat up until now.
Okay. Right. The sheriff beat you up.
I let him.
Right.
That's news to me.
Well, it's not. It's old news. It's old news. I'm not worried about it.
That is definitely the face of someone who is not worried about it.
Oh, I get it now. When we left the tower and he walked in. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, it was Stone Daggers.
Oh, yeah.
Noted.
Didn't like how I handled Zach. And considering the fact that you all, or they, made a deal with the Fae that was supposed to save ruin his reputation. So I took the beating and left.
All I can say is this sheriff will get what's coming to him regardless.
Here's the thing, nothing's coming to him.
Exactly.
I'm gonna take everything from him. But that's a story for another day. We need to figure out how to get Red Pole out of Chinatown.
Can you, like, have your crooked cop contact him and say,
Here's the
I've got
thing,
a whole load of cocaine in lockup. Do you want some coke?
I think my crooked cop may have information, more information, on Red Pole and his gangs inside of Chinatown.
What do you intend to give him?
I don't know yet. I could try to trade him when I used to trade him, but he doesn't, It's been a while. Your friend's not the only one who has a thirst.
Chicago is thirsty.
I recently got warned that some people can be very thirsty and to be afraid of them. It's true.
Like I said, it's been a while.
Do you want to call the cop to this place?
Would you like to meet the bottom of the barrel of Chicago?
I could put myself at a stool and listen in. I'll make sure to keep that stool open.
Do whatever you'd like. I mean, I need to reach out to him anyways. The last time we chatted, we were cut short.
You also woke him up in the middle of the night and had him meet you in the middle of like a street at like 1 a.m.
That was the time before. That they
Oh,
don't
that's right.
know about. They don't know about that one.
sorry.
One,
I'm getting my meetings confused.
Yeah, we met us. Well, I called him and woke him up a second time. That was before the Chinatown heist.
Yeah.
Right. Am I going to be of any use to you? Because if not, I'll have old Mosey down at Brighton Park.
Okay, you take a stroll through the park. I'll call up a crooked cop, and we'll call it a Friday night.
All right. We'll get to Crowley in a minute then. We can just move forward unless there's anything else Ava or Ollie would like to do. We'll move forward to when the cop arrives. You give him a ring. After a couple times of calling him, he eventually answers, and after some terse words and a short conversation, he agrees that he's going to make his way to the bar to meet you. He doesn't seem particularly thrilled that you've given him a ring, but puts up minimal arguments before about an hour later.
Can I promise him beers and?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. And that's probably what got him to come down here in the first place.
Okay, great. I promised him free beers.
Exactly. Eventually the front door opens, and in his like stained white t-shirt and really old faded jeans with a pistol on his hip and a badge on probably somewhere in his pocket, he meanders over, sees Dakota at it in the crowd. You stick out, gives you kind of a lazy wave, and plops himself next to you at the bar. I'm assuming you're on your stool. He sits, he leans, he sighs. What now?
Well, I promised I'd give you a little ring and finish our conversation. But since you're gonna be an asshole
I was so
about
excited. I'm so glad you're here.
No, you came to me.
Right. I'm so glad you called me up.
You ought to be.
And I'll slide him a second beer.
Yeah,
Double fist it like an
he
asshole.
perks up ever so slightly.
I need some information.
You always fucking do.
But this one may actually benefit you in the end.
Uh-huh. I'm listening.
Chinatown.
Yeah, what about it?
There's a couple gangs there.
Well, I think this is just one.
One of them is led by a man named Red Bull.
He pushes his beer back. You getting yourself too deep? Stop.
I unfortunately can't do that.
You can, kid.
So, since you want to be all protective, why don't you tell me why I'm getting myself too deep?
I'm not getting protective. And first of all, Red Pole ain't the one that runs it. And he looks around over his shoulders, just like kind of paranoid, and leans in. Just one of the lieutenants.
I see.
Why are you fucking with the triads?
I'm not personally fucking with them, not yet.
Well, you're asking questions on behalf of that particular person, so...
I have some business to attend to, which includes getting Red Pole out of China.
Do you even know who Red Pole is, kid? Or are you just saying shit that people have told you?
This is the fucking name that I have. I didn't ask you to drag your lazy ass all the way down here for no
I'm not
reason.
asking because the person don't exist.
Clearly.
The guy is dangerous. That's why.
Okay, you want to be more specific? Half the reason I want to deal in this is to get rid of the problems that he's causing.
Well, I wish I could tell you, but the guy's been fucking MIA for like a year.
Okay, I've heard he's been locked up in Chinatown.
Yeah, rumors. What are you looking for? What do you need out of me?
I need enough information to lure him out.
You're fucking with shit you shouldn't be, but whatever.
When have I ever fucked with anything that I should be fucking with?
Yeah,
Answer
yeah.
my question.
All right. Well, I'm not going to just answer your question for the sake of answering your question.
I slide him a third beer, or I'm going to hurt him.
You slide him a third beer, and while he like starts, he pulls the beer over. He's like, "This ain't payment for the last 2 times I helped you. I hope you know."
I got a plan for that too.
Yeah, well, so do I.
Oh.
All right, you're gonna play this game. You're going after Red Bull. You're fucking stupid for doing it, but whatever. All right, fine. You gonna kill him?
I don't know yet.
What's the plan?
I need a finger. A digit. 1 off of his fucking body. Minimum.
All right. Okay, well, I don't know how the hell you're gonna do that, but I'll see what I can do to help you. Here's what I'm thinking. You've asked for a lot out of me these past few months. A lot. And I ain't asking for more. You can roll your eyes all you want, sweetheart, but it's true. And you know it's true. So,
I know it's fucking true. Keep talking.
whenever you're done getting Red Pole's finger, I want you to tell me where you're leaving the body. I'm going to swing by with my boys. I'm going to make one of the biggest arrests the city's seen in the past 5 years, and I'm going to give myself a fucking promotion.
So see, we had the same plan.
Yeah, I'm not too convinced you're going to be able to pull it off, though.
Well, you should have more faith in me.
All right. Well, I ain't got answers for you right now, but I'll reach out, make some calls, swing out in that area, and see if I can get any whiff as to where this red pole's been hiding for a while. He's kind of fallen off our radar, and we've had more pressing concerns.
Fine. Worth it.
Agreed. He stands up, doesn't he? Haven't even touched the third beer yet. I get a promotion out of this. Then he just kind of shrugs. I got a busy night ahead of me. Adios, kid.
Let's hope you at least buy a new pair of pants.
He does not say anything, and he walks out the front door. Alia, Ava, you watch the whole exchange go down.
So that was the guy.
He's lovely.
Real winner.
Hey, if he can help us get the job done, I'm not complaining.
I'm not mad at him.
Oh, it's because you've not had to interact with him over and over and over.
Huh.
He'll
He's
help
just
us.
fuel- He's fuel to feed himself. He's looking out for number one.
That's why I use him. He's
Very
easy.
true.
He always comes through, and he's cheap.
All things considered, certainly. Crowley, in Brighton Park, are you just going to scout the area?
Yeah. I'm gonna.
You looking for, I'm assuming, like potential havens, more or less.
I was told the church would probably be the
That's
center of it. As far as we know, it's a disused church, right?
Yeah, there's one. That's the one I spoke, but I don't know if you're looking for like potential, like a scout a few areas, or you're just looking. You're going to the church and just want to check out the church and see what's going on.
I'll scout
there.
a few areas, but the church was like my first starting point, really.
Yeah, that's fine. Was there any discussion the coterie would have as to like ideal locations? Is there like a particular, like not necessarily theme you're looking for, but is there a type of building that you would be kind of like lenient toward, or is it just whatever you see that looks safe?
I like turning a disused church into a club idea. It sounds brilliant, but that's just
I
me.
mean,
But is the plan to turn it into something, or
That's something the coterie needs to speak of. Like, what is the plan? But before we'll rewind before the cop shows up and before Crowley leaves, when he's about to head out to Brighton Park to do some scouting. There does need to be talk, because I need to. I'd be curious what the four of you are looking for now that you're starting to scout out potential group havens.
Right, what am I looking for? Obviously, bad guys.
look, I don't
barons,
even know what's
ghouls.
there. You know, there's a park and a church, yeah?
I personally want something that won't be extremely vulnerable.
Right, so something really secure.
Yes. Or something we can make secure at some point.
That's
Right.
likely what you're going to have to do.
Yes.
Spend experience into the haven, etc., etc.
Well, metagame. I have a shit ton of money that I can just invest into security if we need it.
Right.
Right. Plus, but okay. So is there like is this like it's a commercialized district? This area
It's
around
more,
a park.
It's park. They use the word park. It's more like a block south of the city, or not a block, but multiple blocks south of the city. That is kind of like apartment buildings. It's like
Okay, so it's
one
residential.
small park, actual park, which is where the church resides that you know of, and then like scrap yards and stuff the further out you go.
Interesting. But it's residential, mini park, church, and some scrap yards.
You
Okay.
can see it just south of the 55 Brighton Park. It's south and just to the west of the Lights Out bar.
Yeah. It's on the map. Okay, cool.
I personally don't want this place to be too public for us. I'd rather just be our place, you know? If we ever have to do meetings or arrangements, we've always done it here at the pub, at Lights Out.
Right, you want a bunker.
Am I, what?
You want like a bunker or something.
Yes. Something along those lines. Well, something a little more I don't know, stylish than a bunker.
Like
but
like a disused subway station. That's what we used back in London.
we already
I liked that haven and nobody else did.
we've been through this whole underground
I didn't mind it.
torn down.
What happened to that
once-
haven?
It
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I see why you're the loud ones.
it
We're
was
the loud
rather
ones.
spacious. Yes, it was.
Especially
It
when
was.
it blew up.
Yeah.
That's a story for a different day. They put a
Right.
bomb in a dude. It was bad news.
Wait, who blew up it?
SI.
Right. Okay.
Story for another day.
Yeah.
Anyway, I look, the idea, I know that we know there's a church there, and I'm not against using that. It probably would be spacious enough for us all to have our own areas, you know? But I don't know if it's safe for us to use, if there's something better. I don't know.
All right, Crowley.
Right.
Go to have a peek.
Go
Take a
find
look.
them. Go find their haven. Look for a haven for us.
Yeah. Spot some things. You have taste, kinda. I gesture to your shirt.
Look, I'm bringing it back. Trains have to start somewhere.
Mm?
Look, don't get caught. All right, Speedy.
I'm new here. Who am I affiliated to? Fine.
Yeah.
No, you're now affiliated to us officially. If I am not in a fever dream.
Well, they probably don't know my face, so.
Well, they don't know that you're connected with us, but I do know that they are packing. They walked in Ollie's bar like it was a fucking Sunday afternoon and they were here for ice cream. So just do what Ollie said. Be careful.
I will be careful then. Fair enough. I never knew
And
you
off you
cared.
go. And so you're just gonna go scout out the church and then potential areas that you might come across while you're out there, basically.
I'll look at like any major like places that possibly could be
Yep.
good havens that they
Can I
might
get-
have, and then good havens for us.
3 wits investigations rolls, please.
Sure. Investigation can benefit from my Auspex, right? Because it's technically falls on a perception as a roll.
Yeah, but no aspects in terms of scouting an area for good building.
Just for like being able to spot and look better.
Heightened senses.
In the
I
back
mean-
of the book, it classifies investigation as a perception skill.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I know it is. It's just like in this particular role, I'm not like you're not like rushing, and you could throw the extra D10 on there if you want. I
I'm
won't
more
say no.
throwing it
But
on like spotting them. Like I want to spot people who are looking like a little bit like they're securing a place and maybe being a bit shady
Gotcha.
around it. Like
sure. Go
I
ahead.
wouldn't
Make
throw
me,
it at looking for R1 because R1 is much more like mentally what are we looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gimme. Just go ahead and do it with the bonus extra 1d10 on all 3.
okay. 3. Three.
Mm-hmm.
6 messy critical.
Disregard the messy because it doesn't matter at this particular moment. Okay. So Crowley, you make your way down to Brighton Park, and it's a decent trip, but it's not too bad. You're at Lights Out Pub, so even walking distance, it's still doable to get there and to get back.
Oh, do you mind if I roll for stealth as well? Because it currently did tell me
Dex
to be
stealth, go for it.
quiet, and I will rouse to make myself more stealthy.
And so you make your way down to Brighton Park. On your way down, the first place you stop, actually, if you look at the thank you, if you look at the actual map itself, and you can see the little tiny. Oh, we lost somebody.
Tracy.
Lost Tracy.
Oh, she just said I had a power surge.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to take a quick break right here, we could actually just do our break here, and I can run to the bathroom real quick.
Do you need a break? Because I actually have a 4-person overlay ready.
Oh shit. Well,
Oh, damn.
I can wait, I guess. We're fine. Hopefully she comes back. Everything went dead. Yeah, she might. Oh, I wonder where is she? Is she in West Coast?
Yeah. I wonder if it's around her that's dead or if it's just a fuse in her house.
Screw it. I'm gonna pull the trigger. Let's take a quick
Alright.
break right here for myself anyway, and then if Tracy comes back, we'll just skip over the next break and keep playing.
Cool.
Correct.
All right, we're going to take a
I'll
short
be
break.
back.
It will be 8 minutes. Feel free to enjoy some fan art. We'll be back shortly.
Okay.
Hello, welcome back. Everyone is here now, and the surge protectors are banished to the Netherrealms.
Welcome
Right.
back, Tracy.
Yes, I've returned. Thank you, everybody. Apologies. Early break. And I realized I was like, early break, but wait, good, we're on daylight savings that
Yeah.
we started an hour later. So
Yes,
Sorry,
true.
I thought
We
you'd
did start an hour
Got
appreciate
me.
later.
you'd all appreciate having an extra hour's sleep.
it's got me all messed up.
I did. Oh my god.
I
I'm-
forgot.
Oh,
So I was
oh my
awake.
god.
Honestly, the thing I've been enjoying most is just like, it's not dark at ridiculous hours anymore. That extra hour push forward just means sun is out longer, thank God.
If
Also,
you're
you
getting
had your coffee
sun,
today,
because-
which means you had your coffee early.
No, I went out and got coffee like the last
right
night.
before you.
Okay, that's true.
When you saw my camera, like, you saw my name pop up, that was me turning my computer on and walking out the door to go get coffee.
Yeah, we haven't
Risking
had
that
sun
coronavirus.
in Atlanta in what feels like weeks. It's like Seattle here.
Really?
It's been atrocious. Yeah,
Oh.
it's killing my spirit.
So it's
No,
really good for
that's the
vampires.
worst. It is really good for vampires, actually. Well, it's good for thin bloods.
Yeah. Speaking of
It's
which,
still a problem for vampires. Regardless, shall we pick back up then? I'll take that as a yes. Crowley,
right.
when you explore, let me give you a little description of Brighton Park, more so than what you've gotten, as you're now spending more time here, walking its streets, its sidewalks, watching the people as they go by, the kinds of people that live here, the kinds of buildings and businesses that surround it. And towards the north of Brighton Park, maybe unsurprisingly, as part of it, half of it, as it's cut in half, is technically claimed by the Camarilla and therefore within Venture territory. A lot of newer businesses are popping up around there, smaller ones. A lot of buildings that are being gentrified and completely redone, and it just looks really, really nice. While once you go south, when you pass I guess you would call it the borderline of where Anarch territory technically begins within Brighton Park, all that begins to fall away. But instead is replaced with a brighter and more excitable nightlife instead of shopping areas and places that are comforting for family and apartment buildings and residential areas. You got more nightclubs and businesses down in that regard, or down in that area, with buildings pressed up against each other that aren't being taken care of as much. They're not falling apart by any stretch, but instead of having the nice bright red brick of a newly finished building, of a newly finished business with their nice neon sign out front, you have the darker browned brick that's been there for a couple of decades. Buildings that have been kept up with, but not enough money infused into it to make it look as good as it has. A lot of clubs out this way and a lot of people filling the streets. And that hard line down the center seems to be the separation of it all. To the north, businesses; to the south, nightlife. Which brings up interesting things for Crowley to explore. But before he gets there, the first place he goes is the place that he knows, the place that everybody's already talked about briefly. The church. That sits just south of the line, but arguably within Camarilla territory, and you're certain Bella would give you the leeway and the go-ahead to take it as your own one way or another. Anarchs be damned. It's on the line so close enough that it's arguably on either side. It sits in the middle of a small park that actually is part of Brighton Park. Trees surround it. There's a walking path that leads through it, and there's actually a small pond on one end that has plastic bags and garbage floating towards the corners. And if taken care of, maybe, fish could come back into this area if it was cleaned up. But for the most part, right now, it's just scum and dirty.
Crowley
the church
fishes like a couple of bags out and puts them on the side.
You see him walk by as he looks at the church. Like you said, you kind of scoop down and you finger out a couple of the pieces of trash just to do some basic cleaning as you walk by. And the grass beneath your feet crunching as you move forward toward it. The church itself is a singular one-story church. It has both, I guess you would call them, I forget what you'd call them. They're not bell towers, but on each side, like towers that rise up. And then the center, the roof is a little lower than both of those towers. And it goes back a good distance and then, closes out. It's not huge. Maybe you'd guess, if Crowley was to take a look at it and take a wild guess, somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 square feet all told. The building's bricks are falling apart, but there's no obvious holes that seem to would spill sunlight, at least with your investigation check, as you walk the outside perimeter of this thing. There's no obvious holes where the sun might spill in and cause problems that you can see. Though it's difficult to know until you're inside and maybe that first hour of sunlight starts to creep in and Crowley can get a much better look at it. It certainly has a gothic feel, as abandoned as it's been for how long it's been. Does Crowley head inside to the building, or does he keep it to the outside?
If it looks abandoned-ish, he'll poke his head inside.
Okay. So we see Crowley circle the building, giving it a good once-over before he makes his way to the front. The double doors, one of the doors is already kind of pushed open, and as Crowley looks at the door, you can actually see the left door, the handle's been completely destroyed, and there is no shut or lock mechanic on this thing, so with a simple touch, the door kind of just creaks open. And when you walk into the actual church, all the pews are mostly untouched. There's a few that are missing, and there's one that's flipped over, crooked, and cracked down the center, leaned up against one of the normal ones, kind of like a weird land bridge for ants or small animals, maybe. And up front, the stained glass window seems to be untouched, but there's no tabernacle up front. There's no table. It's just kind of left wide open. But
No.
as he says hello, Crowley, when you push past the double doors and you make your way into the building, there's a moment as the still air surrounds you and you just stay quiet and you listen. But there's a moment, briefly, where you swear for just a second. You hear a whisper in the back of your mind, ever so quiet. You're not entirely sure if it's a familiar voice or not.
Right, you have
And
to
maybe it was
speak up.
an animal. Sorry, please.
You're gonna have to speak up. Didn't quite hear that.
No response comes. Do you have that ritual where the veil thins?
Mhm.
It's something you could do. I know it's a rouse check, but I don't know.
It's
and
a
I don't know
rouse
how
check on
hungry
an
you are.
oblivion power, which is all the more worrying.
Mm-hmm.
And it would just tell me how thin the veil is here.
Yep.
Um,
I'm just saying, I didn't know if that's something that, because it's not I don't think I can secret roll that one. I think it's a ritual.
no,
Uh,
it's not a
hang on, I
ritual.
have
It's a
to look.
power. Like, it's just a really simple
Level 2 power where the veil thins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And you don't have to do anything. It's just,
Um,
you get a weird, like you said, in the back of your mind, just for a brief moment, you swear you think you hear something.
I'm gonna turn on my ability to see fetters. Because if
Okay.
there's something here, presumably it would have a fetter nearby. If it's natural, maybe.
That's under the assumption that it's a spirit trying to pull.
Yeah,
or
I'd have a
should I
quick look
say-
just in case it's a spirit, if that gives me anything.
Is it, are you
but-
looking? Are you using the binding fetter?
Yeah.
I can't wait to get this physical book whenever it's done.
Might be a little while.
I know.
I will print it.
So it's with Oblivion.
Wits Oblivion 2. It is a difficulty 3.
Correct. For a moment, you close your eyes and you attune yourself in a strange fashion. You allow the mortal coil to dissipate and mute itself while you attune yourself to something a little darker, a little bit more distant, but still there. Sits within the power of your blood and your blood alone. But as your eyes open,
I'll
they're
use full
covered.
power.
Okay. You can reroll 3.
3.
Number of successes rolled is 3. Is in use necromancer distracted from other activity -2 penalties on dex and wit for the rest of for this particular thing. So Crowley closes his eyes, and as I said, he mutes the outside world, the mortal world, and instead he allows his inner mind and his inner senses to open itself to the darkness that runs in his vitae, the essence of death itself. And when you open yourself to these senses, to the side of your bloodline that truly gives you your gifts, almost like a flood or a river, in rush voices, indeterminable amount, unknown words. They simply fill your mind. You can't even tell the moment. You take a moment, try to parse it, pull the voices apart from one another. What are they trying to say? What's their mood? But there's no way to tell. It is a cacophony of chaos in your mind, and it lasts mere seconds before you blink and you're able to turn that off and they all go quiet. There's a moment where maybe even Crowley takes a breath reactively. You are still close to your humanity compared to the rest.
Did I see any like glows of fetters nearby, or was it just voices?
Negative. You saw no fetters, which
Okay,
makes no sense to you.
I'm
It's as
gonna.
though you opened yourself to that side, and without even being able to focus or hone it in, it just flooded your senses.
I'm gonna do where the shroud thins.
Okay, give me a rouse check.
Hunger gain,
Correct.
which I will suppress. And I'm gonna roll it.
Yep. I think you need to be a 4.
Yeah.
You could re-roll 3. You'd have to succeed in all 3.
I can use the power again, but every time I'm risking hunger and I'm risking oblivion.
Mm-hmm. Well, you did suppress the hunger you would have gained for this one. What is your hunger at right now? Is it still
Just 1.
a 1?
Yeah.
So it's up to you.
I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna roll again.
Okay.
7. Okay.
Okay.
No stain. And you know what? I will rouse check to get extra dice on this.
Yep, you can do that.
Hunger gain. All right, I'm at 2. And then... Oh, that's the wrong button. Sorry. 5.
There you go. You were actually able to succeed.
Is it complete hole in the shroud?
As you take a moment and, like you said, you take a moment to just breathe. And you decide, is it worth poking further? Is it worth seeing what resides here, if there is even a veil here? You don't feel the same. It's important, rather, to note that you don't feel the same weight that Chinatown has put upon you. While you enter this place, while there's familiarities to Chinatown, there's no dragging sensation, no desire to stay or go further, no desire to be pulled here. And with that in the back of his mind, Crowley decides that it's safe enough at the very least. And besides, it's arguable that you're not even in Camarilla territory. You're really breaking any laws. You look around, you don't see any prying eyes. What nobody sees can't hurt. And so, where the shroud thins, you use a moment to sit. And instead of muting the world around you, you instead try to just open your senses. Like a cat at night whose pupils dilate, you allow yourself to, instead of allowing further light in, you invite more abyss, more of the nothingness, the shroud of death that resides across all mortal coils, gently across the mortal coil, to see it and further past it. And so the church loses its color. It becomes a stark contrast of black and white. And you prepare yourself as you finish the ritual. You lay your own thick vitae across the ground and you cover your face in it.
It isn't actually a ritual, it's just a power. It works instantly.
Oh yeah, certainly, but I like a little flavor.
Okay.
And you're taking your time. I imagine Crowley is not, there's like 2 versions. You get the quick one, but then the time passing one. And as you breathe deep and look around, it's not that the veil is absent entirely. It isn't. It's still there. You can see it. It's almost as though you can see figures pressing themselves up against a cloth. You don't see faces, you don't see body parts, but there's almost like a wafting wave, like figures just about to breach through the water, giving this bubble across. And it's consistent and constant and surrounds you entirely. It's exceptionally thin here.
How thin?
Close to gone completely.
Right. Good to know. Right.
You blink, say right, and your eyes, the milky ink that covers them dissipates and the color returns. The voices disappear.
Okay. Weird place.
As you say that and spin around, a voice responds. Yeah, a little weird. When you turn and face the door, standing there openly is not a familiar face, but one disfigured, disgusting. Its mouth lipless, but jagged teeth fall from the top and the bottom. One of its eyes is completely white, while the other one is a normal brownish color. Its skin is pale, and you can see veins crawling up all its arms and its face. If Crowley was to guess, Nosferatu.
What is this place?
Mine.
Who are you?
He looks around as though like there's anybody else around, and then he looks back to you. Why would I give you that?
Sorry, I
You're in
just thought
my-
it was polite. Hi,
You're
name's
my
Crowley.
territory. He just walks in and just ignores that you say your name.
Okay,
Go
I
home.
stick my hand out.
He ignores it.
Sure.
Yep, he completely ignores it and actually walks past you.
Right. Are you just caretaker of this little church?
Yeah, whatever you could call it that.
Fair enough.
Why you here?
Because heard there was a weird fucking ass church here.
He actually says nothing. He doesn't look around, and when he makes his way over to where the tabernacle would be, he turns and plops down, sits on the ground, looks at you very nonchalantly, and lets his arms dangle over his knees.
I heard the Baron of Brighton Park could tell me some things. You know where I can
Well,
find
that
him?
ain't me.
You know where I can find him?
Fuck if I know tonight. Why are you looking for him? What are you doing in here? Why are you asking so many fucking questions?
I
Who are
thought he
you?
owned this place.
Wait, you said who you were already. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Right, that happens.
You said Bear. Well, why are you here?
Well, I thought he owned this place.
Man,
Kind of sounded like it in the name. Baron of Brighton Park. This is in Brighton Park, so.
yeah, well, I pay tithe to him. Whatever.
Right. I didn't know people over
you-
this side of the line paid tithes and all that.
Yeah, it depends. You are asking a hell of a lot of questions.
Sorry, I'm new here. I don't come
do you
south
want?
very often.
Just
Well-
tell me what you want.
Why is this church so fucking weird?
He looked, this time he does look around. I don't know what you're talking about. Just been ignored for a while.
That's true. It's a shame about the little water feature up front full of litter.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's been a while.
Yeah. Sorry, didn't know you paid tithe to him.
He shrugs. It's just part of call it safety, I guess. I ain't got an army behind me. He looks around. And Baron lay claims to this area down past Camarilla lines. What am I supposed to do? Tell him no? Then what? He beats me the shit out of me and puts me in a torpor. Then this place is his for the taking, and I can't lose this place.
He's some sort of hard case.
He's got a lot of money and a lot of thugs behind him.
Right.
You looking to fucking put up against this guy?
Well, he's sounding more and more like a dick, so.
Yeah, it's just he actually does chuckle. Yeah, that's just our kind, I guess, huh?
Well. Okay, maybe he's more of an asshole.
Yeah, he's an asshole, that's for damn sure.
Well.
Oh.
A very, important man once said, dicks fuck assholes, so.
He actually does openly chuckle. Thanks for that.
No worries.
So, what, Baron fucking finger your asshole without asking? Why are you asking so many questions about the fucking guy?
Well, in fairness, I heard he was an asshole.
Yeah, well,
I'm
you
not
ain't
a fan
wrong.
of assholes.
But asshole or not, that's just how power works.
Is he actually that powerful?
I don't. He sighs. I honestly couldn't tell you. More powerful than me. Sent plenty of people to take care of me. Told me if I don't pay him that this church was going to get taken away. So more powerful than me.
No offense, friend, but you don't look like you've got much to pay with.
He nods. Whatever I make goes to his pockets.
How
What
is
do I
that
need,
any
buddy?
better than the cam?
He shrugs. What do I need money for anyway?
Fair. I mean, some people to maybe fix the leaks would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice. But people who once did that are long gone, unfortunately. Give me an insight check. What's insight?
Sure. Three.
When he says that, there's obviously more behind those words than he lets on.
Listen, do you get out much?
Only when I need to.
Do you fancy a pint?
I don't drink, and I ain't going out in public. Look, he's like, and then he looks to you. First time meeting one of my kind.
Oh, no, I know a few.
Unless you plan on bringing a pint back here.
Tell you what. How about we go somewhere you can have a pint?
You know a place.
I know a lot of people, I know a lot of places. But only one, really. But yeah, that'll do.
Then he obviously thinks for a while, looks around the church again,
Did you have anything
stands
else
up and
planned?
he pats the ground kind of just gently. What's one night?
We live forever, might as well.
He stands up. Lead the way, friend. I imagine you're bringing him to Ollie's bar?
Yeah, I was gonna bring to Ollie's bar and try and very subtly be like, can we have the back room or something?
Sure. So
But
when
I
he
was also gonna
stands
ask him,
yeah.
right, how do you get places without going overland?
The sewers.
Right.
And then he's like, and as you look at him, suddenly he's not there.
Actually, I can still see him, but he's
That's true.
translucent.
But you understand,
Yeah.
like, even though you see him, it's less that you see him, because you always see him when he has obfuscate. You feel your brain trying to forget. You feel the blood trying to erase his existence, but your blood forces those
I
memories
can just
to
look
sit there.
around randomly. I'll look through and be like, nice trick.
You may make me a manipulation subterfuge roll.
This is my best stat.
Yeah, very good at lying. He will make a roll as well. He is a Nosferatu, so he's supposed to be good at being able to tell. Wow. Wow. That's incredible.
For everyone on the MP3, I rolled 2 dice with no successes, and he rolled 6 with no successes.
Well, you can't tell. He can't tell if you can tell or not. Ties always go into the player's favor. And so you leave, he follows.
Get in my
Not
van.
that long of a walk.
Drive him there.
And you drive him there. Do you head in the front door?
Yeah, I'll walk in the front door.
Ava, this is a night where there's not much going on. You obviously we're speaking with the woman. She's left at this point for a little bit of time, and then Crowley returns.
Right. Quick question. Can we have 2 pints and a back room? Or at least, the one with the curtain.
Who are you asking? Because Grant's behind the bar.
I'd ask Grant
Or
if
you just go
Ollie's
to
not
Ollie.
in the room. Otherwise, I'd ask just Grant. If Ollie's in the room, I'd ask Ollie.
Ollie, would you be in the front or the back? It's up to you.
I'm probably trying to stay a bit more to the back until I get.
That's fine. So Grant just nods and just makes the gesture of you know where the rooms are.
Right.
You make your way towards the back. The kitchen door swings open. In walks Crowley,
I
followed
wouldn't go
by
into the
nobody.
kitchen. I'd be going I told him I'd take him to a pub, so it'd be either the booth that's got the curtain or
Sure,
one of
you
the
can do
back
that too.
rooms.
What your choice? What would you prefer?
I said I'd give him the authentic pub experience, so it would be the
the secret
curtain.
booth.
Yeah.
Pull the curtain closed. Do you go get the rest or not?
When Grant comes over with the drinks, I'll say, can
Almost
you get the rest?
instantly. Yep. And then so he plops the drinks down. Ava, Dakota, and Ollie, you're in the back, maybe having some light conversation shortly after the lady left. The door swings open. Grant peeks in. Hey, boss.
Hmm.
Crowley requested you 3, and he's in the The private booth.
With 2 beers.
Oh no. He was just supposed to go look.
I'll get my gun. And he just goes and leaves and walks.
Okay.
What was that, Ollie?
It's okay. It's okay.
He still walks out front.
Grabs his gun. Grant. This is why I love Grant. So I'll go out the moment he says that.
Yeah.
I'm.
Yep. You all make
Heading
your
for
way
the
to the
booth.
booth. You pull the curtain back, and there's only Crowley there for the time being. Does anybody have Sense the Unseen on?
I wouldn't.
It's
be
on
looking-
naturally if you have it.
It is on naturally normally.
Oh well.
So if you
then
want to
I
make
do.
the roll,
I will make the
Unfortunately, I
roll.
don't have my new disciplines yet. Otherwise, I might
not
have
yet.
something.
Hey,
The
finding an
sense-
animal is pretty easy.
Let's share the senses.
Yep, and you can see him. Ava, as the curtain's pulled back and you plop down, it's a similar feeling. You see him and then you forget, but your blood refuses to allow you to forget. He's there. You can see him, and he's as described, with sharp teeth, no lips, veins that crawl across his very pale body, completely bald.
God, Crowley, I was concerned that you caused some shit.
You all file in
Really?
as Dakota says that. Ava even lingers and holds her word as she kind of sits down gently. He
I can't see
realizes
him.
he realizes obviously Dakota, and he kind of gives you a little wave. Not to Dakota, to Ava.
Remember to
We have-
close the curtain.
Yeah,
We
and then
have
the
a
curtain
guest.
pulls shut, and you hear Ava, Dakota, and Ollie both say, "Yeah, we have a guest."
Crowley is part of the coterie now, Ava.
And as you say
No.
that, and you blink, it is as though you blink. Suddenly, there is a
Oh,
figure
fuck.
and a person you don't recognize.
Oh, he surprises me.
He just appears. He's in the chair. Ava says, "We have company." You say Crowley's part of the coterie now, and then when you finish the sentence, he kind of just appears.
The curtain's closed.
Yep.
Is there a butter knife on the? Is there? What is on the table? If he appears out
couple
of
drinks.
nowhere,
A couple drinks.
2
Dakota's
beers,
gonna be
fellas.
pissed. You know what I do? I probably do that over. Is he next to me?
No,
No,
I'd
he's
put him,
next to
like,
Crowley.
He'd be
He's
like,
across
in the
from
booth
me.
and I'd be next to him.
Sure. Yeah, he's be cross.
Oh God. Okay. Well, if I can't get my hands on him, Dakota growls, shows teeth.
Yep.
Probably points. Like I swear to God.
He actually leans back a little bit. I guess these are them, huh?
Sorry, they can be a bit territorial.
Jared, he appeared out of nowhere. Shouldn't do that.
Right.
They
Yeah.
didn't want to get seen by the others.
I appreciate your necessary need for stealth, but you know.
We can do that.
He will actually look over toward Ollie really quickly. And there's a lingering gaze that he kind of lingers on him, and then he'll look at the rest and kind of give you each like a nod before going back. "I didn't know your friend was the butcher."
I don't think he likes that name.
Not his name.
"I recognize the mask, sorry."
As a temporary issue. Right.
Yeah, I thought it was retired.
So, went down there. Funny place. Interesting story. Sideline. Anyway, this is my good friend. Have you actually got a name?
I didn't give you one.
You're
Right, I'm going to call you
You
Give.
don't haven't.
Just, he shakes and he'll look to Ollie. "Call me Needles."
Needles.
Right.
Call me Holly.
Do all Nas have weird nicknames? For
First
each
of all,
other?
sweetheart, that's rude as hell.
It is.
It's pretty rude.
God. Crowley, your friend, in which you did not know his name, is now here. Is
Yep.
there a reason? Were you simply
Oh,
looking
yeah,
for
he knows the
private
Baron.
drinks? Oh,
The Baron oppresses him and makes him pay a tithe, etc.
He offers me protection.
from what?
Let's dial it back a little bit. First, Needles.
Yeah,
Welcome to the Lights Out Pub.
thanks.
We got some rules here.
All right.
Gonna peel back the curtain just a little, pointing to the wall. There's no violence here. Don't bring it, or I'll stop it.
Gotcha.
I'll let the curtain slide back. These are my friends. We're a coterie. We look out for each other.
Good for you.
We saw the Baron's men. He came here. Well, they came here.
They broke Rule
And
1.
They did, that's right. They broke a rule. They brought violence in my house. They didn't make it out. They're not going to be in the sequel. I hope he's all torn up about it.
I hope so too.
And while I can get over that little squabble, it was incredibly rude of him. You could understand how it might test my patience. So, Crowley, I'm sure as you may have guessed, he's just going to look out in Brighton Park, see what it's about. And then he happened across you. A
Well.
fellow Nos.
He walked into my church.
Did you even knock?
I said if anyone was there, shouted. I responded.
You born in a barn. You're supposed to knock on someone's door.
Didn't look like exactly like the knocking kind of place.
Well, I mean, don't knock it, all right? Home's a home. Some of us lived in the sewers for a long time.
I live in the
Churches
box.
to step up.
He actually looks around and to like at the obvious bar that you own. Okay, so
Why is he oppressing you?
it's protection money. He's protecting me.
From himself.
what?
We all know
Well,
what
I
protection
am on
rack
the
is.
line of Cam territory, you know. And the Cam's gonna. They've already come and knocking, and they claiming shit that ain't theirs. You know, it's only a matter of time before they decide they want to push that line further.
And if
He
they do,
protects me from them bullying my ass.
Right.
Yeah.
Does he actually? Because he doesn't sound like the kind of dude who goes up to the Camarilla and is like, "Well, I'm protecting my dude here."
He actually takes a moment. I haven't had the need for his services. Yeah.
So he's the rock that scares lions away.
Yeah, that.
great. And
Right.
say if somebody were to actually come along and protect you,
They'd have their work cut out for them.
what if it was the Camarilla?
No, that's a difficult answer. I might tell them to go fuck themselves.
Valid.
The Cam's the reason my church is in the state it's in the first place.
What do you mean by that?
Who am I fucking talking to? Am I talking to Cam right now? Because if I'm talking to Cam, you're trying to squeeze me for information just so you can kill me tomorrow morning. I want to
Why
go
would
home.
Why would we kill you tomorrow?
Because I
morning?
ain't part of the Cam. I'm Anarch.
That's okay. Just keep your shit on the down low, man. We're just trying to have a conversation here.
Needle,
Yeah, that's what the Cam always say.
was it yours? Before you returned?
No, it wasn't mine.
Someone you cared about?
Right.
Yeah. I get that. I understand. Hey, we all try to play the game. Everybody plays it a little different. Anarchs take care of themselves. They try to stay out of Cam. Cam takes care of themselves. They try to press everyone down.
Yeah, when you go against the Cam, they kill you.
That's
Needles,
not how we operate. So
I
don't
like
worry.
you.
You don't know me.
It's true, I don't. But I can still like you. You seem like a pretty chill person, and you know, you didn't kill Crowley right away, so
She's
Or
all
try.
about first impressions. So
it's true. Thank you, Ava. Our beef is not with you. It's with
Alright.
the Baron.
Yeah. All right. He continues to be a little cagey, a little iffy on talking.
Right. Tell you what.
He's surrounded by people that whether willingly or not, are Cam. We're on Cam line, and he remains cagey.
Tell you what,
I mean, reasonable.
I'm not Camarilla. So, well, for a start, you can enjoy the beer. It's on me. And secondly,
Sure.
what if someone were to kick the Baron out because he sounds like an asshole,
True.
and then you get to keep your church,
True.
and I'll come around and help, do some redecorating. Or I'll get someone who's better at redecorating or something.
What the hell do you all get out of that?
We
Kicking
want to be your
assholes' ass.
neighbors.
Oh, I get it.
Told you he was a
You
bright
Cam,
one.
you don't want to use me, but you don't want to kill me, but you want to use me to help push Cam lines further out.
Not quite.
Uh,
We may have played proper and positioned ourselves to work alongside people, but from one Nas to another, it's not always like that. It's not always cut and dry. I don't know what you heard about me. You knew me before I even said anything. You recognized the mask.
Yeah,
What's-
well,
What do you know about the butcher?
he shakes his head. Ain't much. He's
Yeah.
scary.
Scary. Neat.
You hit like a motherfucking truck,
That's
That's
fair.
true.
and not the fuck with him.
You know that I also make a mean sandwich.
Also true.
If I could eat it, I'd enjoy it.
You can't anymore.
He looks down at himself. Even if I can, it doesn't last long.
Yeah, I know that.
Rowley slowly puts the muffin away.
There are some finer things in life. And maybe it's not a beer, maybe it's not a sandwich, but sometimes it's just some fucking peace of mind. And
Yeah,
while
the Baron's at the very least giving me the. Look,
he's
I
squeezing
get it.
you, he's squeezing you, right? He's taking
Yeah,
a little
but-
bit of money so he doesn't come and pop your head right off your shoulders. That place matters to you. You're not going to do anything to harm it. I've had a couple of places like that. I don't see anything wrong with a Nosferatu running a business or a building or whatever, so long as you're not, doing everything terrible. Does Needle seem like that bad of a guy?
No, I already said that. Great guy.
Inviting him out for a pint, so it can't be that bad.
No?
Look, we've got money. We don't care about your money. We don't know how you're getting it, but if you're paying him a tithe and it's money, then keep it in your pocket. If you help us, you get to keep that much. And we'll take care of the place. We're not going to try to bully you and beat you up and squeeze you for anything and everything that you are. And I don't say that as if I'm working for someone else. I say that from one experienced Nas to another Nas.
Here's a question. Going for what my friend said. You're being squeezed. You don't have any money in your pocket, and your church is falling apart. Do you think that's going to change if things stay the way they are? Because from what it sounds like, even if you get more money, the Baron will squeeze you for the more money. And the church will fall apart some more. Until at some point, someone comes along, kicks you out, and takes it over.
What happens when the Baron comes knocking looking for his fair share and you ain't there?
Put it this way. I'm not an expert on Camarilla law, but from what I understand, there's a no-killing policy involved, right?
Yeah, but ain't there nothing stopping him from putting me in torpor, burying me 20 feet under and forgetting about me?
Well, I was going to suggest we do that to him.
Again, if he comes knocking and you ain't there, though.
How's he
No.
gonna knock if he's buried?
Yeah, that would be the bit we do first.
Oh, I get it.
Look, he knocked on my doors. He brought violence into my bar in a place that's safe for anyone and everyone. And I'm looking to repay the favor. And I don't play fair. I play to win.
I need to think about it.
Sure.
I can't.
Reasonable answer.
Uh,
Listen, Needles. We kind of need an answer very, very soon. We're really trying to work on this whole situation, and we kind of need an answer today. And I'm gonna turn awe on.
Okay.
I
Go
ain't
ahead.
waiting for this guy.
Out of game, you should probably remember that you take negatives.
I thought about that also because there's 2 Nos in my presence.
Yeah.
Mhm. Certainly makes it difficult.
Uh,
So you're using you said you're just using the baseline power? Awe?
yeah.
So it's if he, unless he knows it's being used against him, he does get an opposed roll,
Okay.
but
Should
it's
I,
just the basic power, so it's not a huge deal.
I
And
should
what's your
prob-
question? Do you want to use willpower?
Yes.
You can reroll 2 of those.
Mm.
Well, it's all right. So you
Well-
rolled your manipulation. You already rolled your manipulation presence,
Yep.
and then he'll roll. And then if you succeed, we'll see how it goes. Waiting. 2 successes. So with 3, it's more than enough. So you add the presence rating to any skill roll involving persuasion or performance, as well as any other charisma related rolls. You say we need an answer tonight.
Mm-hmm.
He looks to you, and you're all welcome. Also, all 3 of you are please welcome a composure plus intelligence to resist her awe. Awe is not something she can target. It is just a giant AoE area. Luckily, the curtain is closed, so the bartender or the bar goers are not there, or the bar goers can't see her.
You said composure intelligence?
Yep,
I'll resist it if it becomes relevant.
2.
2. So you will not be able to resist. You have to do it at the time of. So give me the roll, homie.
Okay, I won't resist then.
Okay, then you are undertaken by her awe.
I had
And
2.
Oliver with 2. You're all 3 of you. So you all are sitting there discussing things. He says, I need time to think about it. Just hang on. And then Ava begins to talk. And the way her voice sounds, how elegant and dainty it is, almost sing-songy. All 3 of you are just drawn to it. It's not like you're hypnotized, but you listen, and you listen intently. The words that fall out of her mouth, no matter how simple they are, just seem like the most important thing that could be possibly said in this moment. And so, I need you to make me a charisma plus persuasion plus presence roll. Ava. Or rather, charisma plus, rather not that. Not, it's a charisma plus, presence roll.
Charisma, presence.
Charisma, persuasion plus presence, yes.
One moment. Sorry, let me just.
You're good.
Where is?
What's your presence skill rating? How many points do you, how many dots do you have in it?
I have 3.
So you're going to do charisma plus persuasion plus 3.
Okay, got it. So, charisma and then 3.
There you go. And did you take a -2 on that?
I did not.
Do me reroll with the -2, please.
Charisma persuasion +1.
Technically plus
that was-
1.
Oh,
ignore-
God.
Ignore that. Ignore
Yeah, that's
that.
12 successes though.
Like he actually just melts. He becomes putty.
Charisma.
You just got to instead of
What?
+3, it's +1. Instead of +3, it's
Yeah.
+1.
Yeah.
I should have called for that. My bad. It's still 6 successes.
Ridiculous.
It's still insane.
It's better than my first.
You sure you don't want to willpower that one? Like,
And do you end it after this? You can intentionally end it, or you can just let it play out for the scene.
I'll let it play out.
Sure. So you say it with such nonchalance. There's not importance put behind it, but anybody who hears you speak would want to give you the answer that day. And he actually sits up, he sighs. Listen, my brother was the priest of that church a long time ago. The cam moved in, I don't know why, killed him,
right.
turned me.
Well.
So working with you ain't exactly at the top of my list, if that's fair. But you're right. The Baron's squeezing the shit out of me, and there ain't nothing I can do about it. I don't got a coterie. I ain't working with other Nos. I'm just kind of alone, and he knows it.
Well, don't tell him you're
That's why we're here to
friends
help.
with us.
I wouldn't. He's gonna come looking for money soon. You want to make it a point. Be there when he shows up.
When? When does he show up?
He thinks for a minute. What's today's date? Yeah,
It's the X of the X of the X.
yeah, exactly. He's like, I don't know, man. Anywhere between tomorrow night and like Monday night, depending on how busy he is.
Okay.
Is it done?
Does he show up by himself? I doubt.
No,
Who's with him?
just other thugs.
Okay.
I
We
don't know,
are
they're fucking-
dropping all the frames right now. I don't know why.
Okay. All right.
This is important. We will pause.
Yeah.
We are back. No idea what that
Great.
was.
Hooray! Welcome back.
So he's not alone.
No,
But
he'll be there's definitely he'll be bringing other kindred. He ain't rolling alone here.
How many?
When he comes to my place, anywhere between 2 and the most I seen him show up with was with 4 others plus him, so 5
They're packing.
every time.
All kindred.
I don't know.
Hey, Needles. You said that you don't work with other Nas and that you're alone.
Yeah,
And you don't talk to the cam because you're an anarch. And you don't work
I
with the Baron.
made a very early decision to just be independent, and it just so happens that the Anarch's a little easier to deal with than the Cam.
Yeah, that makes sense. But all that considered, you knew me right away.
You got a little bit of a reputation out this way.
And nobody talks to you though.
Well, I'm not saying I ain't talked to nobody. I don't make it a point to go
Sure.
out of my way to talk to others.
Can I wits insight this?
Yeah.
You understand, I'm just looking out.
Yeah.
You can't even imagine how hard it is to trust people. So I'm just sort of figuring out what I can. 3 successes.
And you're just looking to see if he's like hiding the fact that he's spoken to other people before.
Or that he might even potentially be in cahoots with.
Well, you're not entirely sure what, why or what's ticking you off, or not ticking you off, but what's making you feel this way. He's certainly hiding something. There is, whether Ollie's intuition, been playing the game too long or whatever, but there's no way this guy knows what he knows while not having it informed by somebody.
All right, Needles. Look, I don't know when. I don't know when you were turned. I don't know when your brother was killed, and I'm incredibly sorry about that. It's a horrible, horrible thing. But I feel like you got to be honest with us, and I've been operating just inside of the cam long enough to know when I'm not being told everything. And I know if I feel like I'm being lied to, and I can call that into question, well, the other 3 trust me enough to at least back me up on that. So
You
help
are
me.
welcome to make me a charisma persuasion check, sir.
Oh, fuck. It's so
I
bad.
know. Well, luckily Ava's here.
And me, I'm charismatic.
Yeah, Dakota's super charismatic. Tell me! Ah!
0 successes.
His simple response is, if you know the game, then you know I ain't gonna tell you everything.
Look, mate.
Ava?
I'm not
I
part-
saw Ava perk up as well.
In order for us to help you, you need to be honest with us. Please.
It's not
We're
a
not out
bestial
to get
fail,
you.
it's just a regular fail chat. Are you looking to, so yeah, go ahead. So you're like, are you looking to try and persuade him again?
Persuade him, yeah.
Okay, so what do you say to persuade him? What is exactly are you saying?
Look, if you want us to help with the situation, you need to tell us the whole truth. There is something you're holding back. What is it?
So, it almost sounds like intimidation, honestly. You would still get the bonus of your presence skill with that, but you're just like, tell me. Charisma intimidation or charisma persuasion? Yeah, you know what? Go ahead and give me charisma persuasion +1.
Tell me.
6 successes.
Oh, I know.
Messy critical.
Hang on.
I wonder if there's any positive influence there from a scary butcher across the table.
I haven't even threatened him yet.
Yeah, he doesn't even know about
I
you.
was very.
I
offended
haven't
he
even
didn't know me.
started.
We have to do good cop first, and
That's
then
right,
bad
yeah,
cop can
and then
come
bad
in.
cop. I'm just sitting there right now.
I'm not sure it's
I-
bad cop. I think it's good cop Dakota.
It's just again, as she demands answers to you, keep in mind the minute she demands answers, all attention's on her. It's instant. Her voice rings out and your attention snaps. It is instinctual. You cannot control. All right, so I just want to check something real quick. No, I don't think I need to do that. Because it's a bestial critical more than anything else. We'll miss the messy part. The only thing I was looking up was compulsions, but those are going to be for bestial fails. They don't work for messy criticals. So you demand answers. And he looks again, his attention snaps over to you and is unable to pull his own gaze from you as you speak. What do you want to know? Who? You just say yes?
Yes.
I ain't working with him. All right? That's important to know because I don't want to get this guy in any trouble. He's helped me out a lot. Kept my head out of a mess. Got me food when I didn't want to go hunting for fear of being seen, all right? He's a good guy.
Okay.
Is that understood before I say anything? And he looks to all four of you. I need a promise. You ain't gonna go after this guy because he's kept me safe.
I don't think any of us want to go after this guy because he kept you safe.
Yes.
Like I said, the Baron is the target.
You got it.
I don't want to say it.
You can trust us. I promise we won't go after him.
He ain't a Chicago native.
Okay.
He's
My
only been in the
interest
city
is-
for the past few years, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does this mysterious figure have a name?
Yeah, he goes by Beckett.
Hold it.
One
He had
second.
interest in the... Kind of like you, Crowley. And he looks over to you. Interest in the church.
In the actual physical building?
At least the location.
The church is special.
Why is that, Crowley?
Or special.
Yeah, he actually looks over to you. What do you
reasons.
mean?
It's special.
What?
Huh? What?
Great. That is fucking
Wait a minute. You're going to make me
informative.
spill my fucking guts about it, and then you ain't going to tell me why my home is special? This is some bullshit. And he looks over, too. He looks over frustrated at Ollie.
It's coming out. It's coming out. He's just letting the gears turn.
Right. I'm pretty sure it's haunted. Or something.
Haunted. Did you sense something in there?
Something weird. Something weird's going on in there.
Great.
No, it's great.
Beckett guy. Get
Chat.
in.
Chad, if you're all surprised, go watch episode 1. Watch the opening scene.
The narrative.
With that knowledge in your mind, go watch episode 1.
this Beckett guy?
Yeah, he's just he shakes his head. I don't know. He's just a good dude.
So how does he know about me then?
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
I imagine he's been in this city longer than I've been turned. I just know he ain't from here. He said he just travels around and shit.
Interesting. And he's here now. Why? For your church.
I don't. He looks to you again. I don't know.
All right. Then tell me what he looks like at least. Give me something. Beckett is a bit vague.
God, he's got a trench coat, long black hair, really dumb Matrix glasses. You ever seen the Matrix?
Yeah.
You
No.
know their sunglasses? They look like a little dumb shit like that. He
Just-
literally looks like he watched the Matrix in 2000, was his biggest fan, and then never, ever, ever changed styles.
Hey, it was a great movie. All
I
right.
don't understand these references. I just want you to tell me what he fucking looks like.
I just did.
I wore that outfit
Oh.
last week.
I was about to say, just picture how Crowley looked last week.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good enough description.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you know where he holds up? You know what? You're right. I don't care. I don't care about this guy. I just want the fucking Baron. So sometime between tomorrow and Monday, he's gonna come knocking at your door for payment.
Well, it depends on how busy he is, I guess. Yeah.
Or you could tell him that some people have been asking about him and want to kill him.
I mean, I could do that.
And then they'll come.
Don't
Well, then he'll come up, talk to you about it, and then.
do
We
that.
need the element of surprise here.
Don't do that.
Hi.
You always have the element of surprise, Crowley. Not all of us are so.
Oh, yeah. If you want
Inclined.
the element of surprise, there is a water feature nearby. What was it, a pond or a river?
It was like a pond is a strong term, but
Pond.
yeah, pond. You'd call it a pond.
Right, it's a pond. And you could probably submerge yourself in there.
I'm sorry.
It's a really good hiding
What?
place.
Oh, okay, that's the only hiding place around.
Well, there are several other hiding places, but that one's really close to the church.
What about inside the church?
I look at.
You've been hiding there for a while.
Yeah. What? You want to know where I sleep? Is that what
No,
we're
I
looking-
don't know. I want to know if there is a way for us, instead of coming in after the Baron, we're there before he arrives.
I mean, I got the basement. That's where I spend my time.
This church, is it 2 stories? Does it have an open loft? Talk to me about, is there a high points or places? Is the steeple, can we get to it from inside?
It looks
I
pretty
never
run
tried,
down.
actually.
Oh my god.
Look, I wouldn't trust the stairs. It looks pretty run down, but it's a pretty high vaulted ceiling with beams across it. You could just climb a beam and stand above, and then when they come in, you drop on them.
Yeah, that might work.
Dakota's good at that. She did that.
Right.
Right. So
Can you
This-
just be? I'm very confused. And he kind of clears it. So you're just gonna what? You're gonna come in, fight off the Baron, say you succeed, then what? What's the plan? You're gonna replace him? You're
Here's
gonna be
what's
my
funny.
protection.
Yeah.
No.
we're gonna be in that area.
Yeah, but not like
Let's-
protection. Not like we
We
screw
will
you for
make
money.
sure our friend here is taken care of. Our new friend.
Look, more importantly, we're not gonna push on you. We're not gonna make any demands.
But that's what I don't get. So what? You scare off Baron,
Right.
and then what? Then my haven is part of Cam territory.
It's
You're my new bodyguards.
It's a
Oh, you
lot
won't need
more.
bodyguards.
The cam
Exactly.
won't bother you.
I don't know if you know this, but you take the Baron out, that's just gonna leave a void. Someone's gonna try and fill it.
Well, we're going to take over, but then we don't
Yeah,
need to
we're-
piss on people.
We're gonna sit it, and hopefully our reputation precedes us.
I'm still disappointed I met no one who's got my reputation.
Well, you're new here, remember?
Yeah.
No.
Plus,
Listen,
all things
this-
considered,
go
We-
ahead, Ollie.
while we each have our own reputation, I'm just a guy, just a Nos. The ladies here, they're the real monsters.
He's not wrong there.
I have heard things. It's true.
Listen, this area that your church is currently in, we have permission to take that area as ours from the camp. So you won't have to worry about them once we take care of the Baron.
Think they're gonna give a shit?
They probably don't really care much, honestly. They've got bigger shit going on right now. So there's
Again.
nothing that any of us have to worry about. Just
Say
him.
you succeed. What after? What's the next steps after that?
We find a nice pad,
Yeah.
settle down.
Some protection
I'll
for
pop
the
over
area.
and help do some renovations on your church.
Am I going to have to be part of the cam after that?
No.
No.
You
I can
always have a
stay
choice.
autarchus,
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we won't mess with you. You gotta stay in your church.
but my church will fall into cam territory one way or another.
Right.
And technically it's part of our domain, but you can stay in it. We don't give a shit.
Everything in Chicago is the cam territory. If it's not us, they'll eventually send someone to take it. Eventually.
right.
And to be
Because
honest, it's
It's a
probably
neutral
safer.
ground. And this is probably the best bet that you've got of keeping your church.
Because it'll be in our territory and it won't change and you can stay there. Whereas if you stay in Anak territory, someone's going to fight someone and it's going to fight someone else and then you're going to end up in someone else's territory and then someone's going to dick on you again.
You know what? I have a thought. Tomorrow's kind of soon. And our friend here has been inundated with a few choices. Let him show up between today and Monday or whenever the hell you said he'd be there. You have some time to think on it. When he shows up, I want you to take full catalog notice of his men, what they're carrying, and when they'll be back. And when all that's done, if you still don't want our help, that's fine. You don't have to come back. But after they come get their payment, you also have the choice to come simply inform us of that following information. Gives us more time to plan because we have other business to attend to on a shorter timeline. And you don't feel pressured. Hmm?
And now I kind of like the doing the thing quickly part.
Agreed.
I think it's gonna. All right.
We could scout it all day long. You could come back, offer us all kinds of news, but then what? We wander into his house?
Also, no friends, Needles. The longer they have to dick on you and pressure you, the more chance you'll be forced to be, giving away some information that's valuable, like, hey, some dude's coming to kill you.
Oh no, you're all right. You're all Ava at the very least speaks sense. Let me take Dakota's advice. Let me sleep on it. If they're here tomorrow, I'll deal with it. If they're not, I'll let you know.
Perfect.
Thanks, Ava, for calming my nerves.
Anytime.
Yeah, if that's it, I think I'm gonna go.
Need a lift.
No, I'll walk.
Fair enough.
He gets up, looks to scoot out the booth. I imagine nobody stops him. And
I'll
he'll,
walk them, if I can.
Sure. Yeah, you're welcome to.
I'm gonna lead him to the back. Tell him there's a grate right outside in the alley.
And
And-
walk him over to the grate. He thanks you. Yeah, thanks.
Hey, man, I know this ain't gonna be easy, right? Nothing, everything worth having is worth fighting for. but you don't need me to say that. Well, what I can say, the Nas ain't so bad. I don't know if you've worked with them much before, or who sired you, but there are some good Nas still.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I imagine there are those who kind of take to this life real easy.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But Nas, they look out for each other. One who's taught me a lot, just for the Camarilla, but for family and Nas's family. We look after one another.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. But your offer's still on the table, right? He comes knocking.
Yeah.
All right.
You know where to find us.
Yeah, I know where to find you.
Be safe, Needles.
You too, Butch. And he will lower himself down into the sewers. You'll replace the grate right on top of it, and within a blink, he disappears. Make your way back into the bar. All four of you probably head back into the back room.
Well, meanwhile in the bar, as soon as he leaves, I'll turn to Dakota and Ava and just go, yeah, so that church is basically like almost right into the Shadowlands with all the ghosts.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Great, wonderful.
That's
The veil is like
not.
almost gone.
Ooh, okay.
I don't
Well, perhaps we
like
should find somewhere else to make our haven then.
this. I don't like this. Something doesn't feel right about any of this.
Well, he
Why
seems
do you
like a
say
nice
that?
dude.
It's too easy. He shows up with a couple goons, as he put them. Not that I don't trust old Needles or whatever. It's not about that. Is that I don't trust the Baron.
Sure.
This is not going to be like the Malik situation. We're not going to bust down some fucking door and just take them. Just instincts just don't tell me it's going to be like that.
Well, pretty sure we'll take him by surprise because we're pretty fucking good at that. But from what we said, the
I am
Baron is a
not.
bit of a
I
fighter.
am not good at that, Crowley.
Right.
Ava, you are good at taking things by surprise. I just don't trust any of it.
Well, from what we said, there is a slight catch of the Baron is actually a bit of a fighter. Malik wasn't, so,
Correct. And last time, his Malik's goons weren't kindred. So we want to walk up and in there tomorrow, that's fine.
Sure.
But be aware that we put a much bigger target on ourselves. I'd rather know more about this asshole.
Right.
God, like,
Okay.
supreme excellence consists of breaking an enemy's resistance without fighting.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but where?
At this point in the conversation, Ollie will walk back into the bar.
Here's the issue, though. I like Needles. He seems nice. He also seems like he's being completely oppressed by that dude. And if that dude says jump, he'll jump reluctantly. Which means it might even just be like, yeah, they told me we're gonna kill you. Please don't fuck me over again. Still like him. He's a dude in trapped in circumstances.
Agreed. And I want to get him out from underneath the Baron's thumb. But I want to be alive on the other end of it.
Right.
I just
Element
don't
of
know what
surprise.
else we can do to prepare for this. We know he has men. We know he's powerful. We have one location that we could use. I don't know what else we can do to prepare for this.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's more important to know yourself than know your enemy.
It basically boils down to, but you have all the time in the world, so to speak, as long as he's willing to continue doing what he's doing. It just boils down to, do you want to run in and smash and grab and try and knock him out early? Or do you play the long game? Work your way into his inner circle, talk to those you can, get information when you can. I mean, you do know Saito as well, and he's Anarch. There's a lot of options here if you play the slow game. It doesn't have to be violence immediately. Just a sprinkle reminder. That's all.
We know he's hot-headed, right? He
And we
can
know he's young.
burst. Young, hot-headed. He clearly
Anarch.
is like most Anarch, and he's clearly sourcing his funding from those underneath him in his area, which tells me he needs it.
Right. So you want to start like an underground resistance?
Right.
That's a bit extreme. I want to fuck his day up, but I don't want to do it bursting in a door behind him.
No, you have a point, Dakota. This is something we could consider doing.
Plus, we draw a lot of attention to the area now, and everybody finds out the Baron's out. We need to slip in and take this and let it rest for a while.
The question, did anybody else forget that time that 7 guys rolled up in here with guns declaring that fuck the Camarilla right in front of mortals? Me
That's
having to
when-
pay off the cops and dealing with the sheriff, cutting that guy's fucking head off right in the middle of my bar.
And what you said was that you haven't done anything to the Baron afterwards. So as far as he's aware, nothing's really happened.
Yeah, if things remain quiet, they'll remain quiet.
The worry is if we start planning something and asking and poking, all it takes is one person to lead
Something
that back
will
to
slip.
him.
Something could slip.
Right
So-
now, we have all the cards.
I disagree. We have all the cards, but we haven't flipped them over, Crowley. We
Right.
don't know anything other than the fact that there's a massive bridge. That church is a hellhole, and if Needles wants it, he can have it.
Right.
And the rest of it needs to be not about Needles. We need to do some legwork on this one. I think rushing in is a bad idea. That is my vote.
And we just don't, I mean, we have you, Dakota, we have Ollie, and Crowley, you have your skills, but that's only 3. I can't do shit if you guys just run in and I'll just stand there and look pretty, really. I think the long game is a better option. I'm kind of with Dakota on this one, but if you guys really feel that we should take care of
I
this,
just
nip
don't know
it
what
in
the
the
long
bud right
game
now.
is, because even if we take him out by himself,
We find, look, you know, you've never met him before, but I have my friend. He might know some people that we could talk to, and
Saito.
I haven't spoken to him in a while. It's kind of due to see him again.
right.
You also know that you could attempt to contact him via dream.
Yes, I could contact him right now if I wanted to.
You could try.
Saito said that he was working on that anyway. Why haven't we heard from him?
Right, he did say he owed us that.
Okay.
Right.
As much as I hate that why don't we follow up with Saito?
I'm just calling that favor.
Been a while.
Yes.
It's been a while. And we'll let Needles simmer on it.
He did ask me, and out of sincerity, if that offer remained on the table. You could tell he was really considering it. So,
It
look,
would be
I think we have
he's definitely oppressed. I think we can all see that.
Right.
we have needles in the bag.
And I
He-
would bet that he's not the only kindred in the area that is oppressed. You can't tell me the Baron's seeding all of his money off old poor Needles.
No, but the more kindred we contact, the more chance.
I'm
of
not
something
saying
else.
we gotta contact them, Crowley. I'm just saying they exist, which means they can be turned into an asset. Such as Needles.
Without contacting them.
Not everything has to happen right now, Crowley.
Let's at
I would-
least, get the information and decide what to do from there. Get the information on who else is in this network
Well,
that the Baron has.
if Saito can tell you what type of kindred this Baron is, and what his, immediate lackeys are, that'd be useful.
Yes. And then we can decide with that information what to do.
So the
And
plan.
if-
Oh, sorry. Continue.
Yep, no, go. Yep, and if that for some reason it seems like we can't do it, then we'll
Yeah.
go guns a blazing.
Well, if you can contact this Saito and get the information soon, we can make a decision whether to delay or not based on better information, which seems pretty cool.
That
So-
would be cool.
The plan then is to contact Saito send him a message in some fashion, whether you do it your way or you do it another way, and see if you can call in that favor. See what he can do to help you. Meanwhile, sorry, I'm just taking notes real quick.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the other aspect of the plan is to somehow figure out who else, if anyone, is being squeezed within Brighton Park by the Baron.
Possibly, yes.
But
I'd
you
like
need
to
to figure
know
out-
if we're going to take over this territory, Dakota wants to know how many other kindred are there that we're going to be either displacing by bringing it into the
Well,
camp.
you're not getting the entirety of Brighton Park.
Sure, but there is a.
You will get a
It causes
part of it.
a friction
Oh,
zone.
certainly. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
There's-
if we
this is
can
just-
dissipate the friction, say in like this case of needles, on our
Mhm.
side when we take it over, it will be a lot easier, and we'll have less people come knocking on our streets trying to take it back from us.
Mhm. Certainly.
So that's
Okay.
where Dakota's mind is.
Yep, I'm with that.
How are you planning on contacting Saito out of curiosity? Are you going to do it dreamwise or are you going to do it letterwise?
I mean, if you guys want to do this immediately, I can try.
You don't have to do it now. I'm just curious if there's a plan for Ava here.
Well, I would prefer to just write to him, I think, and see if we can schedule a meeting. But if you guys feel this is something we should look into,
Is there a downside to contacting him immediately?
well, though I've only done it once or twice, and the one time I did it,
Oh,
my
nope. I don't. Nope.
face started.
What?
My eyes started going dark. My face veins, and Zach, my brother, he. was a
Oh,
little
right.
concerned.
He shot you.
Yes, that's when I got shot by my brother.
Crowley, your constant look of confusion makes me want to smack you.
Right.
No. I think that's just his face.
Oh,
Yeah. It's kind of attached. Sorry.
That was a great line.
I need some fresh air. I'm gonna go for a walk. Ava, don't contact Saito via your dark eye thing without somebody else around, okay?
Yes, look, I'm happy to do it if we want.
Do you feel
I'm not worried.
confident
Zach
or
was-
safe using it?
I quite enjoyed it actually, but
Or why not?
it's just my brother was extremely concerned about me ever doing it again.
He does sound like he was a bit paranoid.
Yes, also true.
A fucking understatement.
So, look, I'm willing to try it again. We just need somebody present to make sure that things don't go out of hand and to wake me up immediately.
How do we do that? Bucket of water?
Perhaps, or some sort of jolt to wake me up. Something maybe not along the lines of shooting me, but if you need to
I could slap you.
slap me
Right.
pretty
I've
hard,
heard
like
Ollie
punch
has
in
a
the
mean
face.
punch. Yeah.
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 I'm sure all of you at one point or another have wanted to do that,
Oh,
and this is
yeah.
your opportunity. This is
Let's
your
go.
opportunity.
I'm
All right,
ready.
so you want to do this now. You want to send a dream now.
That's just I'm happy to do it. So
Okay.
just keep that in mind, everybody.
Oh, this will be fun. This is the first time you've used this skill without it being part of like the story moment in which you've attempted to, since this is a sort of homebrew
Yes.
connection between you and Saito alone.
Yes.
So, I need you to make me first a very, very simply a premonition roll, as though you're forcing a premonition.
Okay.
So, a rouse check first. Okay, you get a little hungry.
Okay.
What are you at for hunger?
3.
Now you go ahead and make me your premonition roll.
Okay.
2 successes. Last thing I need you to do is I need you to roll me just a raw, flat 1d10.
Rolling the dice. A 9.
Yeah, it'll be there. Ooh, a high number. Take a stain.
No. What? Okay.
Ava, you sit. make your way into the back room, away from the booth. And you allow yourself to be surrounded by your coterie in the process. You've never done this willingly. The last time this happened, the last time you attempted or were able to even try attempting this, it was all part of the ritual, the premonition that you were sharing with Saito. So you sit down again in the back room and you do what you always do, but this time with a focus of sending a message to Saito. And so your eyes close. And as soon as they do, instead of being greeted by darkness, like you were almost all times when you have a vision, you are once again and immediately greeted by a road beneath your feet and towering buildings on both sides. The road beneath you pulses, much like last time, but this time much, much more readily apparent. You can almost feel the road beneath you heaving with each one. Before you, out in the distance, you can see where the road ends and meets in a giant circle. The circle, a pit that falls infinitely to an area you cannot see. And you walk. Each step, much like the area around you, is utterly silent. There is nothing, no noise. As you walk, what is the message you are looking to say?
Saito, my darling, it's Ava. It's been a while. I'm sorry that I haven't got back to you sooner, contacted you sooner. A lot's been happening here. The coterie, we really need your help. We last discussed some things that you were going to help us with. Things are in motion with that now, and we really we need your help.
So leave it as vague as possible while still hinting at things.
Mm-hmm.
And as you speak these words, it breaks the silence, almost like shattering glass. It echoes, your voice echoes around you, through the buildings, around them in the alleys, into the hole and out. It seems like your voice fills this entire area. And you speak openly. And as the words fall from your lips, you hope, pray, maybe, cross your fingers that his dreams will be filled with these words and the message will carry. On the other side of things, as the three of you stand surrounded by Ava, you watch. Her eyes are open, much like they always are, and they are pitch black. And very, very, very slowly, wits awareness.
Oh no.
Oh.
Same for Oliver as well.
Oh, sorry. You said what's awareness?
Yep.
Yeah, it may be punching time.
Oh, good. Here we go.
We just punch you, then slowly turn on each ability in turn and keep punching.
Hey.
Bullet 4 and
okay,
5.
No, this is just to see.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very, very quick and does not last long. Not like last
So we're
time. where
talking
you were-
about the scene, not Saito.
Correct.
Okay.
It also doesn't last long, like last time.
Like
And so you watch and you keep an intent look on her as her eyes are black and she forces this premonition. And very, very slowly, for the briefest of moments, the both of you can see what looks like black veins crawling out the out corners of her eye. But it doesn't last more than a few seconds. As the message is sent and she's not kept there any longer, and she blinks and it dissipates, her eyes clear, and Ava is back.
Why did it seem so bad?
Aww.
No, that message has been sent. What, was everything okay?
He really wanted to punch you.
Yeah. Everything's fine.
Well, that was, hopefully it worked. Interesting vision. Don't really kind of reminded me of the last one a little bit.
So I've never seen that before, but you get the lines always.
That's what happened last time, yes.
So it's more than just the eyes, but it's like it's creeping down your face.
Yes, I think Zach was worried that it would begin to
I
spread.
know the eye
to-
thing. I do that occasionally, but the black vein thing seems a little bit weird. Look, though.
Yes. It worked, hopefully. We'll see.
Can I get a remorse roll from you?
Yes.
Because you took a stain. I want to get
Yes.
that roll.
Oof. Oof.
Humanity passed. You don't lose a humanity.
Just.
Perhaps
You don't.
maybe
You don't realize. You don't. Like Ava doesn't feel that. It's
No,
just,
I don't. It okay. Yeah.
We
Well,
always forget
if-
at the end of the session, chat. Let's just do it now. I'll be right back. I gotta pee real quick.
I don't really understand fully what that is,
Right.
why that happens, but I'm okay to continue with it. If it's a way for me to talk to Saito,
Have you drank or tasted the blood of a kindred who has the ability to commune with oblivion? Akata, La Sombra.
Would a Tremere fall under that?
No.
No, I haven't.
Fuck Divina then.
I don't know, but if it gets the message across, I'm fine with it.
Have you drunk the blood of a Tremere?
Me?
No.
No.
Ava.
Well, I think she answered that.
Right.
Why? Is that
No. Completely unimportant.
okay? Well, anyway, Saito's been contacted.
At least you hope.
At least I hope.
After that is done, the camera will cut as Dakota's off for a walk. Dakota, you're going for a walk. You say you're just getting some fresh air.
It's a fresh air.
Where are you going? You just go. You're literally just wandering the streets. Is there a direction you're heading?
Yes. I go by the mural. It's a staple. Just happens to
It
be
is a place you
Carried
go
area.
back to
Yep.
quite often.
Makes me feel better for some reason.
And you run back. You not run back, but you wander your way back to the north end of town. It takes the majority of the night at that point because you're walking
Sure.
to head way up that to the north side of town, and you're not gonna cut through Chinatown to get there either.
Question: I don't happen to pass the building where the sheriff attacked me, do I?
If you
Is
want
that
to
on
go
the way?
out of your way, you
That's
can.
nope. Out of my way. That's all I needed to hear.
Sure.
Nope, we're good. I will go straight to the mural then.
So up through the lower west side, as always, into the east village, and then east into the near north side, into what is basically either arguably Toreador or Malkavian territory, depending on who you ask.
Okay.
And you make your way over to the mural, to the same city block where you saw it was spray painted, where you saw the few teeth had been blacked out, and it just gives you a peace of mind. For one reason or another, like you said, Dakota it's kind of a place she can go where she can be alone, clear her thoughts. And she's gone back there occasionally. Every time she walks home, she makes it a point to pass by it if she has the opportunity, if it seems to be on the way. But this time, specifically, Dakota heads that way. But you don't make it all the way to the mural before you're interrupted. You don't make it to that city block. You're stopped about 4 or 5 blocks out. A voice that you don't really recognize from just behind you. Don't turn around, just keep walking.
Is that a threat?
No.
Okay. So I don't turn around. I keep
Okay.
walking.
You just keep walking.
Yeah.
And it's left that way for a while. People filter out beside you, and once there's less pedestrians near you, the voice actually continues. You keep coming back here.
It's a public pathway.
I didn't say it was against the law, just an observation.
I like a brisk walk every once in a while.
You also
Considering
saved
the-
me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You also chased me.
Also, don't know what you're talking about.
Then you're very forgetful, lady.
Sure would be more helpful. Jog the memory if I knew who I was talking to.
I was creating art. A couple thugs jumped me. A mysterious, red-haired, dreadlocked lady jumped in to save my ass.
That could have been any mysterious
Red-haired,
dreadlock-haired.
dreadlocked young lady. Yeah, you're right. It could be. I'm just taking a guess that it was you. Well, that and you keep coming back over and over again.
This is my neighborhood.
I'm not looking to have. What's your name?
See,
My fidge probably clenches at
Yeah,
this
yeah.
point.
you don't get to ask questions unless I get to ask questions.
I just want to know who I'm supposed to think.
What if I told you I didn't want your things?
She doesn't. They don't say anything.
I like your art a lot. I saw you doing it the first time.
There's no response.
Keep coming back because you keep changing it. Came back to see if you changed it again.
And as you say that, you turn to the block where the mural is and has been for now months, and you can see it come into view. And from where you are, it does not look like it has actually changed since the last time you were here.
An artist, don't you want people admiring your art?
Still no response. What does Dakota do?
Well, I'm here for a damn reason. I didn't come all this way to talk to them.
Mhm.
I came this way to see the fucking art. So I finish my walk. So, if you don't mind, mysterious voice, I'm gonna continue what I started.
Do you spin around at all, or do you still respect the wishes?
Oh, fuck. I respect their wishes. But when I get to the corner across from the mural, I
Mhm.
do take a corner and just hang out for a second. So if they're in my peripheral, that's on them.
Sure. And so you do. You see the mural, you finish your sentence, and you take a corner and spin. And as you turn around, you realize there was nobody there. Or at least not right now.
It's okay.
But you still find your peace, your focus, your center in this mural for one reason or another. It helps you clear your thought, push away the mess that is working for the Camarilla and being what you are, and you find your calm, listening to the people passing by, shouting, cars beeping, and a piece of art before you that seems to change as it always does every week. Little bits and pieces added, changed. You don't know what it means.
But no change since Malik.
No change since Malik, which was only a few nights ago. And Dakota spends a good portion of her night there. Does she spend the night out here?
No.
'Cause she can.
Oh yeah, I guess I could. No.
I mean, you literally could. You have the ability to do so.
This gets really awkward when someone parks like a semi truck on top of where you're meant to
Yeah,
be.
yeah,
Right.
no. I have a fun idea. Can I go over to the alleyway that I know is next to this corner because I've been there a couple
Mhm.
times, and dig around? Have they left any spray paint cans behind that have spray left in them, or are they all empty?
So if you're looking for spray cans, you start fumbling or pushing through them. Can I get a wits awareness, please, as you
Ooh.
start pushing through the garbage?
Sure, that's not how you do that.
That's how you do that. Oh, one.
Takes you a while. You go through each individual can. You're like, this one, a little bit. But eventually, you do find a spray paint can of black with
Yes.
a little bit in there.
I like shake it.
Yeah, you
All right, Buck. I'm gonna go over to the same wall where this is.
Are we leaving a message that should be able to be interpreted by people of your kind? Or are you doing something more general?
No, I'm gonna. Okay, here's a better question. Were they mortal? I would know if they were mortal.
You, as far as you could tell, they were.
Great.
But you were also overloaded with the senses and smells of sweat of many, many mortals.
Right, of many, many mortals. Okay. Okay.
The absence of a mortal smell would not ring a bell. What are you going to do?
Yeah, okay. I will leave a message. It doesn't have to be kindred specific. If a kindred sees it, they get it.
No, of course. That's why I'm asking. Is it kindred specific or not?
A tag is a tag. So I go over to the wall and I shake it up. And
You are muted
I sign my name, just Dakota, across the bottom.
Yep.
Can you hear me now? Weird. Bizarre. I shake the can.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Check.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
My internet connection is unstable on Zoom.
Mine, I actually got that too while you guys were talking earlier.
Oh, really?
So
Weird.
Yeah.
All right. So sorry. A little technical difficulties. Continue, Dakota. My apologies.
I shake the can. I sign my name.
It says Dakota?
Dakota.
1 second.
Dakota,
we are
and
frames
I'll
again.
underline it. Oh.
Okay.
We are
Oh.
back now. That was
Weird.
very strange. I don't know why, but suddenly, like, I had a quick drop and it just dropped everything for a little while.
Coronavirus is getting to the internet.
You're right. I was thinking the exact same thing, man.
Yesterday was Friday the 13th, not today.
Not today. So Dakota will sign just on the wall, just Dakota underlined, and I will put like a very rough version of the gangrel wolf sign next to it, like the head.
Absolutely.
Nothing extreme. Yeah, that's
Can
all.
I get a Dex craft check?
Oh, fuck. So just the dex check.
Yeah. I mean,
Three!
Hey, you rolled all successes. It is actually a decent, like you said, quick. It's not like you went detailed, but a decent, quick representation of the howling wolf symbol of the clan and gangrel.
I step back for the first time. I don't think Dakota has ever rolled a 3 on anything she's ever tried to make. Only destroy. And I take a very proud moment to look at it on this wall alongside, of course, like an actual piece of artwork.
Yeah, of course. And that's actually just to the right. You see the broken smile with the blacked out teeth. And over just a few inches to the right, you see in all capital letters, Dakota with an underline. And then underneath it, is that where you would have spray painted it?
Yeah, or
sign?
just next to it. Yeah, underneath it
yeah.
or next to it. Yeah. And that's just enough to answer her question.
It is just enough to answer her question exactly. And afterward, you head back to Northerly Isle and spend the rest of your night there.
Yeah.
Back at the bar, as everybody else dissipates for the evening, unless there's something important, I'd actually like to push forward just a couple days. I know there might be some planning we want to do in those couple days, but just a very small, simple scene. Ollie, one night while you're out, dealing with, speaking with your homeless, making sure contacts are taken care of, maybe making a few small deals here and there. By the end of the night, when you return, there's a small box at the back door's steps. It is wrapped. It is small, maybe the size of like 6 inches wide, 3 inches tall, and it's wrapped in very plain, light blue wrapping paper with a bow on top.
Okay.
And it says, "Oh."
Oh. Okay. I'll take it inside.
Pick it up and take it inside.
From Anna.
That is a safe assumption.
Yeah.
You pull the bow off. Out of curiosity, how does Ollie unwrap a gift? Is he one of the tear the paper off and doesn't care? Is he a gentle like pop of the tape? And I'm curious.
He probably takes care with it.
And so we see him
I think
gently
it
pull the
depends on
bow.
person, right? Like, I feel like it depends on the person.
Yeah, how important the person is to you. And so,
If Dakota would have given him a gift, and it was like probably wrapped in newspaper or what have you, I can just see like the excitement there, and he's just like, all right, let's see what the fuck this is. Right?
absolutely.
But with Anna, the way that she is, it's like it's very delicate, so he would be as such with it.
And you pull the bow, and the bow falls off by the wayside, and each individual corner, you pull the scotch tape, and you're able to pull the baby blue wrapping paper off of what is essentially a very generic, boring cardboard box. The lid slides off of it, and inside lies two things laying on white tissue paper. One is your new mask, and it's as simple, though a little bit changed, to the one that you were before. The change being the change you requested. It's closer to your skin tone. It's still not 100%, but it is certainly much closer. And the note that sits next to it that simply says, "Oh."
I will open the note.
As you pop the note open and unfold a piece of paper in a very incredibly elegant, shit, the word was in my head, now it's gone. I want to say cursive, but that's like the child's term for it. Calligraphy. There we are. An incredibly fancy calligraphy. It's just a few short sentences. It simply says, "The color's closer, but not exact. You always need to remember you're much more handsome underneath."
She's too sweet on me.
Holly maybe picks the mask up and sees it and weighs it in his hands. It's like getting your face back.
Yeah, I imagine like peering at it for a while, and I will take very careful care of moving the note to a safe place.
Back to your haven behind the steel door?
Yeah.
Maybe next to the computer?
Likely tucked away in like an armoire or a case.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we see maybe you pull out something that's and keep your important bits in, unlock it. I'm curious if, wherever you keep your important things, when we open that box before you lay your letter down on top of it, what would the camera catch just lying on the top of that box? You're not taking things out and looking over them and reliving memories, but we will catch a glimpse of what might be important to Ollie.
Just first glance, as soon as you open the box, you probably see a couple of bottle caps. There is likely ticket stubs to a boxing event. A picture of Rowan and him when Rowan was very, very young.
No more than 3 or 4 years old.
Yep. And likely some torn out comic book pages.
And that's just on the top.
Yeah.
And when we see lay the letter on top, maybe, I'm assuming, do you leave it unfolded or you one of this folds it back up? I know this is very detail oriented, but this is, in my opinion, very important, small little character details. It speaks to Ollie, who he is. So, sorry, do you fold the letter back up or do you put the letter back in completely unfolded?
I think I fold it back up the way that it was.
Fold it back up, slip it back into the envelope that says "O" with just a dot after it. And you gently place it into the box. Maybe take a moment to just look at it before closing it, locking it, and sliding it back into its safe place, wherever that may be.
Yeah.
Does Ollie put his mask on?
Not for tonight. Not yet.
Leave the mask in your room and keep the skull mask on?
Yeah.
And you head back out. And as you leave the silence of your haven, it's almost like you leave the weight of those thoughts behind you as well, the weight of what you once were, because you're now re-engulfed into the cheerful jeers and shouts of the bar, the laughter of Grant behind it, and the things that you filled your unlife with since. And you're welcome back.
Yeah.
Ava, where do you go for the rest of the evening?
I actually wanted to stay here. I kind of want to check on Grant because haven't seen him since all the crazy
He's been
shit
like,
went down.
yeah, he's in the bar. He's been in the bar, but he's been very to himself and very not talkative. eventually, if you're just going to linger in the bar, which is, normal, I think, for a lot of the coterie, and when the
Right.
people start filing out, you do get a moment with Grant, as there's just a couple people around, and he actually, now that he has time to breathe, as this is, towards the end of the week and it was rather busy, he looks up. Hey, gorgeous, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Busy night?
How about I seems very busy tonight. Yeah. How's things been getting back into the swing of things here?
Wow, I haven't stopped being in the swing of things. Things are great. I can't complain. Bar pays me well. Ollie looks out for me, and I have a newfound importance and drive, right, to go forward. New goals to work toward.
I'm happy to hear that. Are you sure though? Are you really sure that you're
I'm so fucking sure. I'm more sure than I've been of anything in my life. I can do things that I couldn't before. You're welcome to make me a wits insight.
Yes.
Meanwhile, he gets to roll, but he gets mega penalties. Well, unless I roll 2 10s, you're going to win. I do not. It's obvious. Again, much like I said to Ollie, you're so used to dealing with people, reading their emotions, playing them against themselves. To listen to Grant, to watch him talk to you, especially as so often as he's talked to you in the past, this just feels like he's putting on a show.
I don't have awe turned on or anything right now because I'm just kind of want to talk to him more candidly. But listen, Grant, you don't have to. I'm not your boss like Ollie is. You don't have to put on a show for me. I know what it's like to put on a show.
He smirks. I don't know what he's talking about. Besides, you may not be my boss, but I mean,
look, a few weeks, actually it's more than a few weeks,
A few
a few
nights
months
ago.
ago, a few months ago, I came in here and you saw me at my absolute worst. And you may not have thought that at the time.
I don't
But-
think I've ever seen you less than your best, Miss Heloise. And he gives you a very sly wink.
You remember that day I walked in, I was covered in the dirty work that I had done for some people, and it was my absolute worst, and I wasn't doing okay. I was vulnerable. I was.
Yeah, but who looked out for you when you were at your lowest?
You guys did. You kept me here. You gave me
I
a
didn't
home.
do shit.
I know. Ollie did.
He laughs when you say I know. He actually does give you a hearty chuckle.
But I'm saying that it's okay to be vulnerable sometimes. It's okay to. We're all here for each other.
Not that I'm asking you to. I'm merely curious. Is awe on at all? Or is Ava being completely raw?
I'm being completely genuine with him
Okay.
right now.
You may give me.
I don't want to
Please.
manipulate him.
No. I'm not looking for a manipulation. I don't think you're trying
Yeah.
to manipulate him.
Yeah.
That's why I asked awe, because awe would imply that you're trying to manipulate him. But
Yeah.
this is simply a charisma persuasion check.
Authentic Chicago noises.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's in the background. Woo, woo. All my sound effects are gone because my freaking thing updated and it wiped all my saves. So I had to
Oh,
redo
no.
my sound effects.
Actually, me for once, because there's a train about to explode in my town.
Good times. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good God. Don't
It's
die.
overheating and they can't turn it off, so they've evacuated
Holy
everywhere
Well,
around the
if we
station.
see a vibration, we'll know what happened.
Genuinely, yeah.
All right. Good. Well, stay safe, EE.
I'm far enough
so-
away, but you might hear it.
That's fine. Okay, so Ava, my apologies. I got pulled out of there for a minute as the siren went running by. But what are the words that you say when you're being genuine to him? My apologies.
Grant, it's okay to be vulnerable sometimes. If there's something on your mind, I want to be here as somebody you can talk to about it.
Have a good night. And he's actually waving the last person out as they're leaving. And then
Oh,
he
I thought you were
turns
saying
to
that to
you No. He was waving to the last person, and he walks out from behind the bar as you continue talking, and he locks the front door, puts the closed sign up, and makes his way back.
Am I in the bar at this point?
Yeah,
Like,
you're
am
in the. I assume you're in the back with your box and your
Yeah.
mask and all that stuff. So
If I come up and I like see through, I'm just gonna let that happen.
sure, no, we'll actually have the camera over by the private booth. Not because we're looking at the private booth. It's just in that position, and it's gazing out to the bar and to catch Grant behind the bar and Ava on the right hand side on the outside of the bar. And we see just for a moment the kitchen door kind of creak open, and we just see a very familiar silhouette. There's like a brief moment as Ava speaks words, and Ollie even hears them and realizes it's genuine. There's no awe behind them. There's not trying to manipulate. He says goodbye, and Ollie just steps back, and the door just very quietly closes, and he allows it to happen. Grant locks the door and makes his way back and begins to clean up the bar area while he looks up to you as you finish saying what you're saying. I don't know what the point is here, doll. I'm all right. Some shit went down. This is my life now, right? And as long as Ollie's here, as long as he's got you as friends, I'll be safe. I'll be good. And he actually reaches under the bar and plops up the shotgun and just lays it on the bar. And I got my worst case scenario best friend right here.
Are you worried that something might happen, that you might not be safe?
Wow. Why would I be worried about that?
We're all worried about that at times. I've been worried about it, and I'm different from you. It's a normal thing to be worried about.
I mean, I'll be fine though. You know what I mean? Like, you guys can't die, or it's really hard, one or the other. And it's harder to kill me now too. So
You're right. Look, Ollie
he
cares
at this
a-
point, continue, keep talking. He simply finishes washing some glasses, steps out from outside the bar, and actually just plops himself on a stool nearby, continuing to look to you.
Ollie cares a lot about you, and I think all of us have grown very, very fond of you, including myself.
He
And
actually
so-
smirks. He's like, "Don't make promises to me now, girl."
I'm not making any proposals here. I'm
Damn.
just telling you that we will do what we can to keep you safe. But it's also totally normal to feel scared also. And I know sometimes the best coping mechanism is to just be busy all the time and keep yourself going. That's why it did help when Ollie even had me working here those few nights. It helped keep my mind off of things. But sometimes you do have to just talk it out,
And when you once again repeat, like, it's okay to feel scared. It's okay. Even though he keeps telling you he's fine. It's almost as though the veneer cracks. He still is smiling. He's got a grin, but it fades and you can catch his lips quivering just a little. And just only out of one eye, you see it get a little glassy. And you see a tear just well, and he brings his hand up really quickly and wipes it before anything can happen. I don't have anything else. You did. Ollie's like my brother, my friend. You've all. And now I help you on something. And I just watch the things you all can do. The things I saw Boss do. And he tries to further explain, but his voice gets more and more cracked, and he tries, and without you even saying anything, he actually just gets up and stumbles a few steps over to you and just throws himself into you and just begins to sob. He buries his face into your shoulder. He pulls you tight. And while he tries to say words, it comes out as just a mumbled, sobbing mess. I imagine we see Ava bring her arms up.
Yep.
Please,
I
Ava.
will give him a hug and just genuinely just hold him there for a second, kind of just stroke the back of his head and just let it all out.
And he does. For as long as you allow him to, he does. Ollie, we actually see as the camera is like slowly beginning to fade to black on the scene. We see the door open a little bit and Ollie catches eyes just again. And it's maybe heartwarming to see Ava actually trying to reach out and comfort somebody. She's a Toreador, and watching her do her thing is always mystifying. But now you watch and you see why Clan Toreador is the one that clings closest to their humanity. At least that's how it's said, no matter how out of the norm you might be, Ollie. Because while you watch, there is no awe. You feel no pull of the vitae, no manipulation of the blood. What you see, simply, is someone being human to somebody else. Gain a humanity, Ava.
Oh my gosh.
And while there's plenty more we could do, I think, for the time being, we're going to fade from that scene. And we could push 30 more minutes. It just feels like it would remove the sting of that final scene, the weight that it carries. And so I'd love to end here, if that's okay with everybody else. And we can pick up next week, having ended a session on a more positive, humane note. And Ava finally connecting with somebody that isn't trying to use her or manipulate her. And Grant finally gets that as well.
He finally gets his nervous breakdown.
He does. And he finally has somebody he can feel safe doing it to. Not that he wouldn't feel safe to Ollie. It's just a different relationship with Ollie. It's like having that big brother relationship. It's difficult to... It's just difficult. There's a different type of vulnerable he is with Ollie.
That's exactly what I had in my mind. It would be difficult to talk about this with Ollie.
And Ava was able to pull the strings exactly as she should. My apologies for ending it a little early. It just felt right. And sometimes that's just how I gotta let my gut take care of it. We go over sometimes. We don't really go under often. Oh, chat's crying.
Sorry. I too.
Oh, really?
I'm a little emotional. I never thought that not that I never thought Ava could get humanity back, but just being able to gain that humanity back really is like, makes me feel good about my character. So
Ghouls
that was a
can
great
be
moment.
touchstones, by the way, yes.
Was Crowley in the pub, by the way, at the same time?
It's up to, again, this was like 2 nights later, so Crowley could have been there if that's something he would have wanted to do.
I got the general idea that we were hanging out at the pub, so...
Yeah. But Grant taking that alone time with Ava was very important either way.
Yeah.
Crowley will step out of the bar as that...
Just get in the
scene
back with
ends.
Ollie and hang out with him, discuss with him.
No, Crowley will be like, oh, Ava's doing a humane. I'm happy for this. I will now leave.
That's true. Crowley would want that to go through just because his humanity is so fucking high.
And he had a conversation with her like 2 episodes ago about you should be in touch with your humanity.
Yeah,
yes.
that you did. Yes, absolutely.
Crowley did, have a talk with Ava about that. So just putting it into use.
Oof.
Ooh, good show, everybody. Good episode.
Okay.
Great.
We'll go through everyone when you find them, and we'll then go through any tips and stuff we've had. Let's start off, of course, with the announcements. There is Monster Hearts coming next week, Sunday, at the normal time. shifted, of course, because daylight savings bollocks, which will be starting next week. There's also a Monster Hearts character creation video for those of you party tier and above on Patreon that's out now, and there is a monthly recap coming for those of you at the appropriate tier and above, which should be coming up next week. Right. That said, let's start off with Ava, Miss Magitech, Tracy. Who are you? What do you do when we find you?
Hi, everybody. My name's Tracy, Miss Magitech. You can find me all of the places as Miss Magitech: Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. Feel free to follow, hang out, chat with me about VTM, about this episode, about any episode. And yeah, we'll be here next week. Thanks for the good show.
Okay. What about Dakota Rain, Little Red Dot, Chelsea?
Hey everybody, I'm Dot. You can find me online as Little Red Dot. And it looks like in the coming weeks you're going to be seeing me online a hell of a lot more.
Yep.
It's almost like we
Exactly.
can't go anywhere.
Yep.
That's what I get for working in an industry where we gather large crowds of people. Yeah. So follow my feed because there are some big announcements coming out, including the fact that my theater's getting a Twitch channel. So I'm making that
Nice.
happen.
We'll be teaching them how all the Twitch
exciting.
stuff works.
I am making all the Twitch stuff happen. So my job has gone from one thing to another in the last 48 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool. Today's episode was great.
That's also the sound of someone who
Just-
is exasperated with their job. It's really great. It's really
just,
great.
just shh. Just shush, shush, shush. Yeah, no, today's episode was great. Man, there's so much role play that I want to do. I just want to be,
I know.
that's
I
it.
know.
That's how I feel about that.
That's it.
What about Ollie Hopkins, the Bubba Not Bub? What about you?
You know, I'm just out here doing bub things all the time. You guys can find me all over the place. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Just look up the Bub or Not. You can find me. I'm just doing that stuff. So that's it, Chief. That's it for me.
And of course, the storyteller, Mathis Games. What about you?
You can find me at Mathis Games everywhere. Chilluminati Podcast if you want to listen to me talk about weird stuff. More podcasting projects in the future. I think podcasting is going to be something you're seeing me doing a lot of over the course of like the next 6 months. So feel free, look it up. You can check out Flypaper as well. It's the podcasting network that we're all part of. It's like me and a bunch of YouTube friends who all have our podcasts up there. So check it out. And that's it for me. So that leaves us with Crowley, our resident new guy.
I'm new here. Yeah, you can find me at youtube.com/Enter Elysium. I'm doing lots of Hearts of Iron and stuff at the moment. There'll probably Stellaris coming as well. I had a new look at the Stellaris expansion and stuff that's coming out if you want to go check that out. And I got nuked by America today in Hearts of Iron if you want to check that out. I also stream Tuesday doing a 40k RPG Thursday and occasionally Saturday. So that said and done, we did get one tip today. We got $3 from Caldi. All the fuels roll love. Caldi, thank you very much. There are definitely a lot of feels, so thank you very much indeed. Right. Thank you very much for watching, and we're going to go do an after show. May the dice roll over in your favor, and hopefully, your roll 20 works when you want it to.
Fingers crossed.